Battles on my field. Battles on my field. Battles on my field. Battles on my field. Battles on my field.
Who you kidding around? All that hating still can't bring me down. Matter of fact, look how I'm living now. Can't give you figures, it's a big amount. Spanish woman with me sipping crown. I'm just here to have a look around. Get to work, I'm here to lift some pounds. I'm on another wave, a different sound. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence to let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I came to play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. Then I double up again under their nose. None of them cold, they just got lucky but never adapted. So I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close. I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke. I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now they ain't go harder than me, they need a blade in a sheath, a shank in a piece, a crate full of heat, an army, a fleet, a tank and a jeep, a navy at sea, with ace a marine, an ace up their sleeve, a team of marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razor for teeth, and still they would lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song's done. I gotta call up my mama and tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications and sip my tea till it is all done. I think it's all fun. I need everything, I need all of everything, yeah. You a simp, you ain't in my lane, you a lame, bitch get out my way, 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 out my way. Look, whack ass, low Michael say the most, do the least okay. Talk behind my back, to my face, ain't a peep okay. But that be outrageous, admit you did the least okay. Step out to the nines, my three-piece ain't got a crease okay. It's okay, it's okay. Kill on and capiche okay. I be damned if I just made my money over beats okay. Frito-Lay, chips out on the table, time to ante up. Damn it, bruh, you be liable to lose the phantom, bruh. She's okay, risk it all for what to lose, like it's okay. Can't relate, always had your bets before you reach okay. I'm center stage, heavy risk, evident. My investments aging like a pessimist. Benefits, and you know that my resume is a heavyweight. Yeah, put it on my back, give me everything. Yeah, I need everything. I need all of everything. Yeah.
I think that this is going to be a layout that's going to benefit anybody that's naturally aggressive. To have that practice where we have aggressive teams meet us in the center, it's a bloodbath, and it's preparing us for the war that we're about to go into. And I know that they're being prepared for the war that they're about to go into, given that this is our first year in the professional division. We're sitting lower than we'd like. The last event, Lone Star Major, we had a rough one. We were fighting. We definitely fought nonstop, and we were punching up, and we were fighting some bigger guys at the time. And unfortunately, our score showed it. We went 0-4 at the event, but that gave us a great bottom to go from. The only way to go when you're hitting rock bottom is up, and it was humbling. It's gonna be a firefight, and everybody's locked, loaded, and ready to go.
Checking out the layout, just got released on the Brooklyn Bridge, Mid-Atlantic Major coming up in 2 weeks. Just gonna take a walk, try and make some game plans, and just get it going, get it started. You gotta do your homework early, and teams are already probably looking at the layout on Guns Up, so I'm just gonna go check out the layout and walk around.
Come on, boys. Hands up. Let's go, boys. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Team, family. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's go, man. Let's go, boys.
Every event has a bracket of death, where fate forces a lion's share of the league's top killers into harsh battles, just to survive, just to make it out of the prelims. Because only half of the league plays on Sunday, and Sunday is the only day that matters in pro paintball. At the NXL Lone Star Major in 2023, the top 3 teams overall all came out of the same bracket. And in the final battle for the win on Sunday, it was Houston Heat versus San Diego Dynasty, a rematch from the second major event last season, where Dynasty dismantled Heat in a 7-1 Mercy Rule victory. This time the finals would be a more contested story. Though Heat and Dynasty's roads to Sunday went through the same bracket, the roads to the final match took different routes. Since the COVID break of 2020, San Diego Dynasty has been driving a stake into the hearts of the other top teams' dreams of dominance, winning more than half the events. But what has made this run so special is the adversity that they've faced along the way, and Texas was no different, as they dropped their very first game in the prelims on Friday against Infamous. Though Dynasty had a clean run through their next 3 games, including a 1-point win over Houston Heat, they still ended up in the wildcard round, which meant that they would need to win 4 straight matches on Sunday to tie the record of 3 major event wins in a row. Three-time world champs Houston Heat are the most consistent team in paintball. Second overall in 2022, and they didn't miss a Sunday. They haven't won an event in 2 seasons. Heat's only stumble at the Texas prelims was a 1-point loss to Dynasty, who now sat on the other side of the Sunday bracket. The Houston Heat would need to get through New York Extreme and LA Infamous in order to get a chance to get revenge and hoist a first place trophy again.
Team ball all day. All fucking day. Team paintball. Pass that ball around.
Dynasty's first fight early Sunday morning in the wildcard round would be against the ML Kings, who they drug into the deep water. After going up by 1 early, the veterans showed masterful control, grinding out a point that ran over 10 minutes. And then they held off a last-second attack by Kyle Berry. But the iron wall that is Marcelo Margot stayed alive, and they got the shutout win. Next up for Dynasty in the quarterfinals was the sophomore sensations, the New Orleans Hurricanes, who looked refined and deadly in their prelim wins against Revo, Damage, and Diesel. But Dynasty, even with low bodies, shut them down at the start of the game to take the lead, and they then grinded out another long point, which was clinched by Ryan Greenspan getting a shot on Aaron Pate, who played on and drew a major penalty. The Hurricanes pulled within 1 in the next point when Daniel Camp beat out Chris Shear in a race for the buzzer, as they both blew up in their sides. With 150 left and down 1, the Hurricanes still had a chance, but Dynasty shut the door on their event, as Blake Yarber shot the snake off the break and then also stitched up Stuart Ridgel, and combined with Mike Urena to absolutely punish Camp as the last body left alive in the snake. Old-time enemies, Dynasty would have to get through X Factor yet again. They built up a 2-point lead in the semis by shutting X Factor snake side down, controlling situations, burning clock, and winning gunfights. But with less than 5 minutes to go, X Factor came roaring back to tie the game by taking full advantage of 2 consecutive Dynasty penalties. Then with less than a minute left, Mike Urena and Chris Shear almost stole the win, but Urena needed another half second, and the game went to overtime. Dynasty knows to beat X Factor, you have to shut down Billy Bernaccia on the snake side, and they were able to take him out off the break again to go up 5-on-4. Urena got into the 50 snake, and as time was ticking down, Marcelo Margot filled over at the perfect moment to catch Colt Roberts for the crucial kill. Dynasty had knocked out X Factor yet again. Heat fought a close war against New York Extreme in the quarterfinals, as Extreme had absolutely destroyed everyone that they played as they ran through their prelim division undefeated. He'd had a rough start in the first point, losing a high body situation, but then they tied it up after Chad George got a kill in the snake, and then they stopped Pat Kraft Jr. from pushing down the D side. He played offensively in the deciding moment, getting a kill off the break and sending everyone to the 50-yard line with a minute left in the game. New York Extreme had no answer, and Heat moved on to the semifinals. Houston Heat barely beat Infamous in the prelims, and their contest in the semis would also be a low-scoring tactical battle. Though Infamous looked poised to put up the first long point, with Zach Patient showing off his crafty skill in a low-body situation, watching Chad George's shadow while he creeped up for the kill. And then veteran Callie Rudolph ran down Ryan Smith, but after the chaos it was 2-on-2. Joe Barrett attacked towards Ronnie Dizon, both gunfighting with little paint left, and Tyler Harmon used this distraction to run down Patient. He'd extended their lead in the next point, but Infamous couldn't make the most of a high-body situation, and Ronnie Dizon and Tyler Harmon clocked in again as the last 2 bodies alive. The team burnt off enough time. Though Thomas Taylor made it through the full send gauntlet to put a point on the board for Pride, Infamous's tournament was done. They would have to settle for a respectable 3rd place. Unlike Philadelphia last year, the final match in Texas would not be a blowout. Instead, it was a blow-for-blow and move-for-move game, and as it turned out, penalty for penalty, as both teams tried to exert their will on each other. Dynasty got off to an early lead with Urena and Greenspan clearing out the snake side. Then, Heat took 2 unanswered points for the lead when Dynasty drew 2 penalties in a row.
He's going to get 1, he's going to get 2.
Wow, big
beautiful move, but no, but it's going to be a major penalty assessed on Blake that's going to pull out Marcelo.
But Dynasty, starting with only 4 bodies, pulled it back from the brink when they shot Chad George and he drew a minor as well. Dynasty played tight, they played perfect, and they kept all 4 bodies alive, and it was all tied up.
Another body coming off right now with Ryan Smith, Yoshua
taking
hunting in the center, and just dominant performance here. 4 bodies started this point for Dynasty as they were on in a deficit, and 4 bodies end for Dynasty.
But then there was another penalty in the next point, this time on Greenspan, helping give the lead back to Heat as Dynasty was forced to concede quickly to preserve time. There was 4:30 left on the clock, but Dynasty, undaunted, tied it up again in the next point.
Tried to make the move out, and as soon as that happened, it was just Ronnie Dizon left alive. That forces the coaching staff here for Houston Heat, Pat McKenna and Tom Martinez, to concede. Gonna just speed crawl up to the 50-yard line.
Alex is hunting down the snake. He's going to try to go forward, listen to find out where Chad George's gun is at, and try to get Chad George without dying. Number one priority, get Chad George off the field. Number two, try to do it and stay alive.
Oh, he's not scared to go. Alex Frazier going to come around, stitch up Chad George, and stay alive.
Doesn't get better than that, Matt.
Beautiful job by the legend Alex Frazier, but he does get clipped on the way back, but he did his job to get Chad George off the field. It looks like Tyler Harmon's going to get shot. Actually, they trades out with Blake, but Ryan Greenspan in a good position to attack.
Gonna go get him. Oh.
Overtime point here. Ryan Greenspan frustrated that he was not able to try to put the team on his back yet again.
In the end, it was decided in overtime, where San Diego Dynasty, extending their reputation as monster gunfighters, were able to win a 4-on-5 after losing Mike Urena off the break, as Marcelo Margot, Blake Yarber, and Chris Shear were all alive on the field to win the point and tie the record of 3 wins in a row, after Tyler Harmon ran Ryan Greenspan down in desperation. It was a close game, but San Diego Dynasty took down Houston Heat and won their 3rd consecutive tournament. With new heroes emerging in their ongoing story, and led by their legendary veterans, Dynasty proved yet again that they are the best team our sport has ever seen. Paintball history is at stake in Philadelphia, as no team has ever won 4 major events in a row.
It's 10, man! We're playing the best fucking teams now. It's time to step the fuck up. But we're fucking champions too. Punch him in the mouth, guys. Come on.
It starts in 10! Hey, the gun! The gun! Hey, hold!
Nice CPL, baby.
Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby!
We're all dead people. Woo! Let's go!
Could you tell me a little bit about what Sunday Paintball is?
Sunday Paintball is a brand that my wife and I started. I've always wanted to give back to the sport. Half of our profits go right back to the sport. The goal is to give players more Sundays.
Our first event, the teams that came in last place, we actually gave 5 cases of paint just to show them we want to see you back, we want to see you playing again.
That's what Sunday Paintball is about. It's not about getting to the tournaments and getting first place. It's about always playing. It's about playing whenever you can.
Sunday Paintball have any plans to move into any other days of the week?
Sunday Paintball is a mindset. If you can have a Sunday on a Saturday, we encourage that too.
Hey, they got a major! They got a major! They got a major!
Thanks, guys. Rock on.
Hey, get in here, motherfuckers! This is a bullshit day of paintball. I'm fucking over it. Let's go out here. Let's win this fucking game. We'll be in the driver's seat and get to play both the motherfuckers that are standing in our way. Right now, wake the fuck up.
Keep running those guns, dude.
Wake up, boys. Come on, let's go! ICPM, baby! That's right! I got the wire! Go back there on me! Monday, Wednesday, for sure! Back left, back right! Damn! Bang, 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 bang!
bang, bang, bang.
Get him out. He wiped it.
Bang, bang.
That's it. It's right here then. I don't think it's getting there.
Let's go.
All the bodies we can get. All the bodies we can get.
Everybody knows the game plan. Everybody knows their job. Run those guns, run those mouths. Smoke paintball today, baby. Let's have some fun. All day. All day. Let's go, smoke.
Keep the pressure up.
Yes, sir. Ooh, got that. We got that good shit right here.
Let's go, Shock. Let's continue.
Well, it's not down you. I want to. Hey,
every time.
Why do you think you're playing? I'm sitting here. I don't ever doubt you.
Go, Sage, ready? Go get him, Connor.
That's a penalty.
Back right, kill one!
The whole time they're yelling Dallas, that guy's feet were right there the whole time. I didn't know. Well, they didn't tell you that.
I asked Sam that. He said come protect Smash. I should have went through the middle.
It's always time for something.
Focus on playing together, all right, boys?
They're down with a stalemate just like we are. Stay alive. Ball. They want it same as we do.
Hey, kill another on the center. Kill
Hey, Scott.
Yep.
Where'd you put that putt?
Hey, the first Tiger.
Tiger won. Tiger won. Get out. Stay on the Cobra. Scott, stay on the wire. Scott, stay on the wire.
What?
Where's the putt?
The Tiger what?
Come on, he just shot me, Rev. I'm sorry it's not right. But that's a penalty. That's fucking dog shit. Fuck, man.
Well, that was a good-ass game, dude.
Yeah, good game.
And the home of the
Home on me. There's the one, the deep two, back center. Hey, back right again, center. Get him. Hey, we got all at 6:45. Go at 4. Come on, Tom. Now fucking go to work.
Tom. Cool. Thank you. Fan.
Come on, boys. Yes, fucking play, boys.
Good job, baby. Are we good? Oh, you're not the ref.
Bodies matter. 60 seconds longer saves you 3 bodies.
Hey, you remember that crazy moment push at the final part, you know, when they all look each other in the eyes and they know, like, this is it. We're doing it for each other, for nobody else. That's nobody else. We are winners. We are the best team here. They're scared to death of us. They don't want none of this. They don't want none of this.
Family on 3, boys.
Okay, we got
Send them
this.
to Valhalla.
All right, family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family!
Thank you very much.
Let's fucking go!
Yeah! There it is!
Well done. Well done.
That's it, boys.
That's how you do it. That's how you fucking play the best hand all day long.
The refs have an excellent record this weekend. They've won so many games.
Thank you, and good night. For the second event of 2022, the NXL headed to Texas for the Lone Star Open. This event was a minor, meaning attendance was not mandatory for the pro teams, but 15 of them still showed up in the quest to put a win on the board early in the season and prove to everyone they were a contender for the series title.
Right there, Diesel! Right there, Diesel! Right there, baby!
There was a mysterious absence in the list of attending teams. The Latin Saints, even after their big second-place finish at the first event, decided not to make the trip, which begged the question, with a war chest as big as the Saints supposedly had, why would they not attend this event?
Hey, don't forget, company! Company! All right?
Also, the NXL threw everyone a curveball, as the layout featured a snake on both sides but only on half the field. And since this was a blind layout released the day before the event, no one had been able to train for this unconventional situation. Strategy and tactics would evolve in real time.
Learn from your fucking mistakes and offensive. Come on, man. Let's go.
And again, everyone was looking towards San Diego Dynasty, wondering if they could keep up their uncanny ability to put wins on the board. Dynasty had won 3 major tournaments and 21 games in a row. They had not lost a game in the NXL competitions for 10 months.
We pray for these boys right here. Light them on fire. Help us be victor. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Hey, believe in your brothers. Let's go, boys.
Right now. Hey, get that energy up. Let's go.
Fucking flash.
Hey, it's Sunday. It's Sunday.
Right fucking now. Let's go, motherfuckers. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3. Team squad. Let's go.
This particular blind layout is a little different than we've ever seen, so I like it. As far as us, we have some of the old school, we have some of the new school, and really truly it's just getting us all on the same page. So we've been here for hours talking about this, and everybody has a different idea currently of what we should do or how we're gonna do it. We're focusing on, okay, if we get into these situations, how can we work on it? And I think you're gonna see a lot of the top teams, the teams that have been around doing that, and I think you're gonna see some of the newer teams just throwing Hail Marys out here. And it's a field you can throw Hail Marys on, right?
No, sir. No, sir. Hey, get up, stay up, right, damn it? Yes, sir. Let's go. Keith Brown. Enough, man. This isn't hard. You don't have to do anything special. Just don't do anything dumb. Look at the field. They are coming. Have to come. Diesel! Diesel!
For up-and-coming teams in the Pro Division, every event is another chance in the battle for relevance. It's a fight to make your opponents respect your very existence and to see your organization as an actual threat. There were a few new Sunday contenders in Texas. Energy Elite and the New Orleans Hurricanes both went 3-1 to secure their spot. Fate, however, did not favor some of the favorites. Dynasty and X Factor faltered. Baltimore Revo lost heartbreakers, and they didn't move on. And though Level looked like a top contender in Florida, things were much different here on this blind layout.
A couple interesting teams that got knocked out. Level came after a really good show in last event. They struggled a little bit this event. Hope to see them in the finals in the future. See them do pretty well. Dynasty finally lost their win streak. They had a huge win streak going into this thing, and they finally got cracked. So we'll look forward to seeing them in the future too.
Fuck.
Right out of the gate, the unconventional layout had its fair share of top-end casualties. Day 1 was a disaster for Dynasty, as they lost both their games to X Factor and Infamous. They had a -9 point spread, and they needed to win both games big on Saturday to have any chance to move forward.
The blind layout events, the minors this year, in the Dynasty camp weren't taken very seriously. I hate to say it that way, and we should have taken it seriously because we got beat up. In order to win a paintball tournament, in order to win anything, you need an immense amount of focus. You could have all the talent, you could have all the best players, you could have everything, but if you're not incredibly focused, tuned in, ready to play, then you're not going to win that event. We didn't practice before the first Dallas event. We didn't have a practice the weekend before. We hadn't been together since the Orlando event, and we decided to show up and just try our luck.
They did everything they could on Saturday after the Day 1 disaster to move on, winning both their games, including the last one against Damage. Damage had also lost 2, but since both their losses were only by a point, they would skate into the quarters. Dynasty's event was done, and they missed Sunday for the first time since Texas 2017.
So, you know, for us, we got out of the bracket of death. We had multiple close games. We lost 2 games with leads, actually, like pretty good leads, 3-point leads. So going into Sunday, we knew we got out of the bracket of death, like everything was going great for us. Our teamwork was great. We were actually rolling 2 lines. Every single player was playing, which is like not heard of in professional paintball. Usually you play your starting 7, and then you've got guys on the bench ready to rotate in if there's injuries or something happens. But we played every single person, and everyone was just bonding and playing amazing.
After that first event, I decided that we had to play the other guys, period. They're not good enough to play, they shouldn't be on the roster. And that's it. There's really no in between to it. So the mentality I had was I'm gonna go into that event and I'm gonna play 2 lines. If shit doesn't work, I'll cut it down to a hybrid line, but I really wanna play 2 lines.
We immediately felt like it was our event to win. We truly feel that, Tampa Bay Damage is one of those teams that learns the field very fast. We know we have the amazing gun skills, our teamwork is very fluent, but we always struggled with just studying a layout. And I think we overthink it in the practices. So, going into the second event with the blind layout, we thought we already had the upper hand.
The teams who proved themselves to be contenders by quickly mastering this strange layout would move on directly to the quarterfinals on Sunday, as there was no wild card round at this event, so only the top 8 advanced.
Revo kind of tapped out on this yesterday because we were constantly going at them. You can hear the commentators, even Greenspan's going, why are they still attacking?
Because we know better than you.
Why are they still attacking? Because we were going to fucking win that. That is the King's way. That's how we're going to fucking play, right? Super proud of how we came out. We're not flat anymore coming out, right, guys?
Let's
we're
fucking go.
Angry, right? Listen, the next match is the biggest fucking match.
It's the biggest match.
Houston Heat! Yeah, Chad! Yeah! Houston Heat! Houston Heat!
Yeah, I gotta keep it trendy on my soul. I'm the old selfish person that I know. Here we go, down the rabbit hole. Got a couple carrots around my neck. Self-respect, when you out of line, you put yourself in check. They don't hear me, they don't hear me though. Cycles going around and around.
3 times before that ref looked at him. And he got shot on the outside. Not checking it. They're not checking it.
Houston Heat has been a pillar of professional consistency since their inception 10 years ago, but they do like to drop games early and make it interesting. On Saturday, Houston Heat ran into troubles against New York Extreme, losing by 3, and then prevailed in a high-scoring shootout against Columbus Level. It was a 1-point match that ended Level's event, and tuned up Heat for a rematch against the ML Kings in the quarterfinals.
They really like pushing that snake.
I think the ML Kings have been playing really good lately. They have a lot of younger, smaller guys that are actually, all buying in, right? And it definitely shows when everyone buys into the same game plan and just goes for it, man. And they put their time in, and they have a lot of young killers in that team that are actually coming into their own, I think. And with Charlie behind them and, a lot of their younger players, I think they've been playing really well and just going for it, man. And it's been showing. They're actually going for these bigger games and going after teams.
And on the breakout, 3 guns up, 2 runners, and it's going to be Ryan Moorhead going that inside route.
The beginning of the Heat ML Kings rematch in the quarterfinals was all Heat. They shot the ML Kings trying to push up the Snake side 4 points in a row, shutting down their most potent offense. And they made very few mistakes themselves to quickly run up the score.
Stay woke, please don't get caught slick. End up showing what you read. Know your worth and don't sell cheap. The ghost is inside of me. Can't take it out of me. No matter where I've been, it's not where I'm meant to be. I be shining.
It was 5-0, and the ML Kings were only 1 point away from a Mercy Rule blowout loss. But there were still 8 minutes and 36 seconds left on the clock. But with the Kings on the ropes, Heat received a major penalty, and a crack opened. The ML Kings refused to go quietly, and they fought back until it was a 1-point match with just 1 minute and 39 seconds to go.
Kyle Berry doing a great job filling up. Here comes Ronnie Dizon.
Kyle Berry played really well.
A minor penalty closed the door, and Heat took a tough win, advancing to meet longtime arch nemesis, Edmonton Impact.
So that is going to do it. Big congratulations to both Houston Heat and Edmonton Impact, who will be playing against each other in the semifinals.
Hey, tribute, baby. Let's go. I'm just ready. All right, boys, we're back in. Let's go. Let's fight. Hey, we're up, boys. Fucking fight. You got a frag.
Energy Elite also showed vast improvement, playing some of the best paintball we'd ever seen him play, led by Caleb Abel's relentless attack in the Snake, beating the Ironman in the first game and barely losing a 1-point match to Impact. They then upset Revo by the Mercy Rule, and they took down Aftermath by 2 on Saturday, going 3-1 and punching their ticket to their second Sunday appearance ever. For any team to truly be in the hunt for a win, you need lethal contributions from the whole roster, and that's exactly what Energy Elite was getting from Kyle and Robert Bowen, Austin Buffton, Jason Dennis, Zach Geiger, Travis Trawick, and Elliot Weaver.
Yeah, Aftermath's looking pretty good. I mean, the game against them was a tough game. It was a good match. They played pretty good in the prelims. They struggled a little bit, and so we got to keep playing on their struggles and just keep hammering it on them. Keep bringing the heat and get ahead early, and they like to play a little slower game. So if we can get a lead up front, just keep bringing it, keep them on their toes.
Energy Elite here in the green, starting on the red side of the field. And two bodies, Kim blocking 3 bodies coming off for Aftermath. Here's Caleb Abel's going on running a kill racket right now. Bottom side goes through the Doritos. They're a high volume, high pace game. Yep. They like to run at you. They want to push the issue.
Oh, the Energy player is getting pulled. He checked himself on the break. He got bounced on the break, but it looks like one broke too. So 2 Energy players taking a walk.
After 2 points, the game was tied. But then Energy continued to stack up point after point. The points were close, but Energy Elite's full field attack was on display, and they took a 5-1 lead with just 2:24 left in the match.
And there he goes. Caleb does just that, and he gets all the way through, and he shoots Kim. So Barrett came off that lane, and then Caleb just timed it perfect.
What a ballsy move, man.
Oh, Frank Tomaso getting flipped out of that spot. Here comes Mike Mesa. Mike Mesa trying to make a big move up that 50, and then here comes a little damage control done by Caleb Abel again. Oh, and then here comes Hallberg, after playing every single spot, ends up getting bunkered out by Weaver. And Energy Elite going to put another point on the board. So backs to the wall here, not looking good for Aftermath.
Aftermath scored 2 to make it look better on the scoreboard, but the lead would hold easily, and Energy Elite would advance to their very first semifinals appearance ever.
So Aftermath's going to win this. It's going to be a 3-point game with a little bit over a minute left.
So here goes
Aftermath right in the middle, dropping too early, Matty.
Yeah, they sent Barrett all the way up the center, and he runs through, of course. I mean, what are you going to do? Castro, same thing. But they're going to score. They're going to get one.
Yeah, they're going to get one.
They got a chance.
I am the Utah College Ross home shooting.
You gotta go. Go to the fucking Dorito, bro. Come on.
Well, looks like they're holding the line right now and at least burning enough time. We might see one more point here on the board for Aftermath, but I just don't know if they're going to have even enough bodies here to score this one. I don't think they are. So
wow, they just lost a 3-on-5.
So that's going to do it. Energy Elite hugs all the way around. Very first time we're ever going to see those boys in the semifinals, and they will be matching up with legends in this game and a team that looks dialed. The team that emerged out of the bracket of death is Tampa Bay Damage. So Energy Elite will have their hands full.
That's what wins tournaments, boys. We've been missing that for a minute.
And you guys came out.
3 events. Straight up. Straight up. Take on that. Build on that. I'm proud of you, boys.
Team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team squad. Let's go.
Came out pretty strong. We figured stuff out pretty early on Friday, and struggled a little bit yesterday, but we felt like we needed to be tested a little bit going into Sunday. So team feels good. We did our homework. Got our first match this morning, 9 a.m. Against Tampa Bay Damage. So I think it's going to be a dogfight. See you at 9 a.m.
You know, we're depth. We got depth, and we're contenders, and so we're coming to bang as always. I mean, that's what the squad brings, right?
Thomas Terrell, I love watching you play. Big fan of the squad, man. Travis Lemansky has just done such an amazing job with his brand and the team, building up a potential champion again. So we're gonna have to see here at the Lone Star Open if Infamous can finally pull off that long-awaited win. Thomas, best of luck.
Yeah, baby. God bless.
I get 5 pods. 5 purple pods.
You know, going into Sunday, 2-2. So that's not normally the way, you know, a winning team would come into Sunday, but, you know, for us, with those 2 losses, those damn near 14 points in both of those matches, so you learn literally so much in those time periods. So coming into Sunday, we played Infamous again, but we had their concepts down and we were able to understand what they wanted to do.
Oh, but Keith Brown sneaks in there. He gets the shot cross field. Keith Brown is feasting right now.
Gets 2 pieces inside.
You know, Thomas is typically a snake guy. If we make the snake and Thomas is playing the center, he's now doing a job. And if I make the snake or Keith makes the snake, you're really killing their entire, you know, aggressiveness with Thomas playing the center.
Welcome back, day 2 of the prelims, 2023 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall, alongside Rich Telford, and starting things out with Legion taking on Uprising. Look like Legion is the first team to drop a body here. Nice start for Uprising as they get a kill on that snake side. And thank you guys so much for joining us. It's a beautiful morning. We're a little outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, as Legion, even losing that body snake side, still pushing a player here to the 50-yard line. He's going to wrap around and try to trap. Ooh, maybe gets the shot in on that spot can. Looks like the spot can able to stay alive.
And he gets shot out, Matt. So he missed his shot and got eliminated out of there.
Yeah, great job by Uprising. That was Graham Arnold, dodged that screen, tucked in, and then his teammate got that kill. Perfect. So they're up two bodies here in this first point, and they're going to get Joel Eaton.
Oh, that's a kill. He got that. Joel Eaton got that cross shot.
Yeah, Joel Eaton had a pretty good day yesterday, I thought, in the snake for him.
Yeah.
Typically a D-side player, but, you know, you got to keep it fresh, and guys, those first attackers will bounce around occasionally. But, yeah, he had a pretty good day. Unfortunately for Uprising, they did lose both their games, but a much better look in their second match.
Yeah, and again, tale of 2 teams, right? Uprising struggling a little bit yesterday. Looks amazing. Wins a 5-0 point there against the Russian Red Legion, which is one of the best teams in the world. So Uprising might be playing much better today than they did yesterday. But they went 1-1 yesterday or 0-2?
Uprising went 0-2. They barely lost to Infamous, though.
That's where it was.
That
So
was
they
a
need to win
very
both
close
today,
game.
right?
Yeah.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, in the pits with Uprising, just always a tale of 2 teams with them. I mean, they've had that, you know, there's Graham Arnold and Joel Eaton, so that's the 1-2 combo. Let's listen in real quick.
Yeah, just little things I was
Yep. That goes?
They did a bingo, yeah.
Coach Ormrod.
Well, no, so they were yellow, so they just shot deep side, and then they had a guy who ghosted, and shot the bingo cross shot. Hey guys, that was a good job. We had kill one. I think it was out of Portland, but then their god became, their feeling of the god became the
Jumping into the first point here with Baltimore Revo and the Latin Saints, and both these teams need a win. They both went 0-2 yesterday, and looks like the Saints are going to attack, Rich, by taking the snake early. Yeah, 5-on-5 break.
Yeah, but Revo first to that 50 snake, wrapping, and looks like Benny trading out there with the snake player for the Saints. Kerrigan taking the early walk there from the back center. I think that's Kerrigan. So 3-on-4 advantage here early on for Revo.
Well, you know, Caleb Abel's relentless, right? You know he's going to be pushing the issue on that snake side. He was the first to attack over here. So the Saints have to match the level of aggression that Revo's going to bring. Revo with this new roster, it's going to take some time. I do like the lineup that they have on this roster, but just not quite gelling quite yet. Again, with 2 losses yesterday.
Also hurts not having Tom Ford here.
And
that team, Revo.
We're looking over the shoulders here, the D side, red side of the field. That's Baltimore Revo. They have that wedge, the inside, and then also into D2. And they're going to get a kill out of that tower, so looking pretty good for them right now.
Yeah.
Still have a little bit of work to do.
Yeah, I believe it's a 3-on-1, Matt. As soon as they find the one player in that center brick, which is a very tough position to defend yourself in if they're on both sides of you, then this first point will be over here, going Revo's way. Revo releasing D side as the brick switches to look snake side. Oh, it's 4-on-1 here. Revo's got 2 snake side, 2 Dorito. They're just trying to find out where the guy in the middle is. They find him, and he gets to take the walk. So Revo looking really good this first point, Matty, winning with 4 bodies left alive, controlling that whole point.
Pretty simple point for him. Saints did look like they wanted to match the aggression early, but once those first couple bodies dropped, nothing really much they could do after that.
Yeah, they put the one guy in the snake, and that was it, right? Once that guy was gone, they're like, all right.
Silos getting checked out, and he's good to go. I like that combo over there. So, yeah, picking up Silos. Benny Carroll's been on the roster for a little bit. Revo's just, you know, a team that has been picked apart a bit by some of the top teams, taking some players throughout the years. They got Velez back on the roster. They picked up Zach Geiger from Energy Elite last season. And
they got Greg
back. With new owner to get Greg Rostek. So, yeah, I mean, again, it's just going to take a little bit of time. I'm also wondering, have you talked to them? I didn't get a chance to see what their practice schedule was like. Did they get to go against another, like a top team?
Yeah,
How much work did they put in?
Yeah.
Because when you have a new roster, however much time you guys get behind the gun together, it could hyperspeed your development as that core.
Right. The only thing that's holding you back from getting to where you're going just the amount of time you're spending on the field together. So the more and the faster you can spend that time together, the faster you can achieve your goals. Here we go. Let's see if the Red Legion can come back with something a little bit different here. Malloy stays alive this time. Got shot on the break last time. I like the fact that he's playing that snake insert, more of an offensive position.
Yeah, they're unfortunately going to be losing Kirill as he runs up the center and lost that body early. Yeah, it's just been tough. We mentioned it a little bit yesterday. But Legion just, you know, with some guys being over here in the States and some guys overseas, they haven't really been able, talking about time behind the gun together, just haven't really been able to do that much.
Malloy here into the 50 snake. Red Legion's first offensive.
Well, you wanted some offense out of Malloy,
I did,
and he's attempting it right now.
I think if he plays like this, I think he'll be one of the scariest guys in the league. But they've got to protect him, Maddie. Gets run on the inside as Malloy. Red Legion dropping their last body, Maddie. So, again, another easy point here for Uprising. Malloy was in a position to win that game, but they didn't give him any targets, and they ran him on the inside.
Yeah, they're getting off to a nice start. Getting off to a nice start here. And Legion, they just keep grinding their gears a little bit, man. It's like they're having big-time problems with survivability because, you know, you'll have maybe Karslev going off on the D side at one point. They have had Kuzman getting in the snake, and then Malloy behind him. Malloy's been getting speed spotted out. So it's just been tough to get, you know, at least 4 bodies left alive, all working together, pushing up the field. And also I heard that Sergey is injured.
He had a cane this morning.
Like an actual cane?
An actual cane.
Did he really?
Like, oh, wow.
I thought you were being sarcastic.
No, I was seeing if I could see him over the sidelines now. No, he's dressed out. He had one of those little, you know, like just little metal canes. And I was like, oh, I wonder if someone over there's hurt. And then he grabbed it and walked away. I was like, oh, maybe it's him.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a big miss, or a player they're going to miss quite a bit.
Yes.
Sergey is a high-level, top-level talent.
Monster. Saints in snake first again, Maddie. Let's see if they can capitalize this time. Revo, both teams 5 alive. Revo kind of sitting in the pocket. They've got one outside the Dorito. Well, one in the snake now.
The game plan for the Saints cannot be, let's just take some spots and out gunfight Baltimore Revo. That should not be the game plan. It's not going to work out. The Revo guys are more experienced at that. The Saints need to stick with the offense, stay with it, and live or die with it.
They got to make it dirty, right? They got to make it dirty. Got to get the guy up against the cage, grind him out a little bit, take some of the skill out of the game. Because when you're playing against a team that's higher ranked than you,
or that Revo gets penalties.
Yeah, that helps. Or wait until Revo gets a couple penalties.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at that too. 3-on-5 advantage here for the Saints in this second point of the match. Caleb Abel trying to get some kills, sees that he loses 2 guys, goes from kind of a defensive slow play to a more offensive, proactive play, understanding that he's got to get a couple quick eliminations to try to even up this point. Caleb Abel gets himself into that 50 snake. Such an important bunker on this field.
Yeah, he's in a good spot. Yeah. But he does have an enemy right in front of him. See if the Saints, and he's going to launch. Does he get him clean? He does. There goes Caleb Abel. He gets one. Another body came off, but I think that was from somebody else. Did Caleb get a 2-pack?
Yeah.
He did blow open this snake side, though. So now a couple bodies have come off for the Saints, and Revo's turned the tables on this one. Still got to try to get a shot on Gregory over here.
Kerrigan repositions from the Dorito to the back center. Revo with Dorito 3 or 4 and Snake 1. Revo with the slight advantage because they've got both tapes.
Well, they just got that kill there on your screen from the D side, so.
Yeah, 2-on-1 to 2, 2-on-2 to 2-on-1 advantage, Revo. Good communication there from Revo across the field. Both players at respectively the 40-yard lines. Omar backs up to the wing, looks inside.
These are those heartbreaker points. If you're the Saints and you go out and the team gets a penalty and you still can't find a way to win that point.
Yeah.
And you didn't get any penalties.
You scratch your head.
I mean, maybe I didn't. Did you see any penalties on Saints? I just saw bodies walking off.
Yeah, just 9 out of their bunkers, unfortunately. And again, the story as you're an up-and-coming team isn't really how well you do, because obviously everybody wants to win. It's whether or not you're improving, right? If you're incrementally improving every time you go out, every time you field the team, then eventually you're going to be really good. But if you get to that point where you're stagnating, your team is stagnating, they're not improving from event to event, then you've got to figure that out, man.
Well, it's just tough because as Revo trying to finish off this point, going to hit the buzzer, when you're looking at the roster for the Saints, names that we've heard before, some guys that have played on pro teams before, but they're currently all ranked either D1 or below. Mostly D1 and then a D2 player and then D3. So, you know, they don't have the most amount of experience compared to some of these other squads.
For sure, they've got the least experience.
Yeah, but when you look at, say, the Hurricanes or what Notorious, Notorious went 1-1 yesterday. The Hurricanes have been highly impressive right
Highly
away
touted.
in their first year. It was last year, and then now sophomore season. So it's possible, but again, it's just it is an uphill climb. And I mean, but hey, you got to tip the hat to Greg. And he has been trying to get new talent. I mean, he's last season they saved it. Looked like the Saints were potentially going to get relegated. It ended up being DMG. And he, had brought in Mike Paxton to coach and picked up some new players, and they did enough to not get relegated. So, but they're kind of at that situation right now. They're sitting at the bottom of the barrel, 20th overall. They're down by 2. They got to step it up here against Revo to try to avoid losing another game. Jumping into this next point here with Uprising and Legion, as Uprising goes right into the Snake, and they're going to be shooting that first attacker here on the Snake side. So Legion down. Another one early.
Yeah, 4-on-5 advantage here for Uprising as they get into the 50 Snake. Red Legion releasing to the right side wing. Malloy now playing the spot bunker over there on the Snake side. That's the yellow can. He fills outside to the corner. He'll probably use that to go forward into Snake 1. Red Legion's down here by 2 points. Down here by 1 body in this point. Now better position for Uprising with 2 in the Snake. Looks like they might have lost one. The Snake player might have got shot going over. If he did, it looks like it's going to be, gets the rub call.
Yeah, I talked to, talking with Jason Burns, and he was kind of breaking things down. No Smotrov told me that Sergey got hurt, and it's just the story with Legion is they just haven't really had a ton of time to practice together, and then trying to bulk out their roster with just some more emerging players. And from that D side here for Uprising.
Yeah, Uprising's gonna win this point. Although they do drop that D side, Matty, as Red Legion goes.
Yeah,
to
Legion
the
might be. Legion's breaking open that D side right now.
Yeah, they're both turning the corner. Uprising's gone through the Snake. Legion's gone through the. Oh, and Legion's got another player left alive over here. Snake side. They're gonna win this point, Matty. So now that they've won this point, can we have an off-topics discussion?
Sure.
Oh, there's 3 Red Legion players. That's a good point for Red Legion, Matty.
Yeah, it was kind of bend don't break. It did look good for Uprising as they did take a little bit of ground and they were pressing the issue, but just had some survivability issues out there. Legion winning a couple gunfights, and they're going to put their first point on the board to make this one interesting.
So way back in the Stone Ages when we were kind of making our push, trying to be like good at paintball and win paintball tournaments, win world championships, there was like a level of performance, right? Like you had to work out a couple times a week. You had to play paintball a couple times a week. You had to blah, 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 right?
Yeah. Well, that was like the level of effort required.
Right. The bare minimum effort required, right? To be kind of like one of the top guys. We were all kind of competing with each other to work out more and to do all that stuff. Do you think the guys now are doing significantly more of that kind of stuff, the same amount of stuff as we did, or less of that kind of stuff?
I actually feel that probably at least as much. I mean, because if you look at the elite guys, right, and you look, I mean, there's got, like the Patty Gleasons, these guys that are in the gyms or getting on workout programs and kind of, utilizing fitness to try to enable their bodies to be the best paintball players they can. So at the top level, yeah, I think so. Because again, that's kind of what's required, right? I mean, it gives you your best opportunity to prevail.
In theory, they are professional athletes, right? So as a professional athlete, you probably should spend some time with the physicality. Oh, Revo taking the walk early from the 50 Snake, Matty.
Yeah, this is an opportunity for the Saints. So they're pushing the issue. They get into the Snake. They get that kill on Revo at the 50. Fortress here in the Snake with 10 minutes and 9 seconds left to go. They also took that 50 brick in the middle of the field pretty early, and they're looking towards that D side. So they're in a real solid, they got 5 bodies left alive. They've got the real estate, and they're in a high body situation. This is a point the Saints cannot lose.
Yeah, and this is the kind of point that they can build on, right? They got to the key spots. They made their key kills.
Well, if they execute.
Yeah, now they're playing relatively controlled. They're communicating. If you come out and sleep on the Saints, they're going to get at least a couple points from you. And if it's a low-scoring match and they get a couple points, you could easily lose that match.
Yeah. We saw Ramirez have some real good points earlier in the year for him. He's in the Snake right now.
Yeah, that first
remember?
Really
yeah, first event, he had a couple of standout moments.
Lose their first player D-side, Matt.
So that's the stuff that can't happen. When you're in a high body situation and you're down, you just really have to limit those bad deaths out of your bunkers for no reason. If you get the trades, that's fine. You get shot making a move, okay, that's going to happen. But when you're in a high body situation, you really try not to die out of your spot. And looks like Ramirez gets a kill cross field here. And then calls that kill.
Yeah, as soon as that player walked out, though, the Revo player filled that Dorito.
Uh-oh, running referee. Might look for a penalty, minor penalty assessed.
Yeah, got shot in the head and decided to keep playing.
Yeah, that's, again, so a death out of a bunker, a minor penalty. They're making it really hard on themselves right now. Yeah, and O'Mara running a racket over here, getting that gift of the penalty right in front of him, made the most of it. And it's just him and the Snake trying to finish this point out for Revo to put their 3rd point on the board.
Yeah, he's trying to shoot the bounce shot off this baby Dorito and bounce it back into Dorito 3 there.
Yeah, and Rich, Revo lost both their games yesterday, but they also lost them by decent margins.
Yeah.
So they ideally, when you're looking on paper, Revo needs to 6-0 the Saints, or just get a mercy rule win however you can. But just because they lost the first one by 2, and then the next one by 4, so they're sitting at a -6 right now.
It's so weird when you see a team like Revo, who's so talented, been playing for so long, and have played at such a high level, and then for whatever reason, there's some little chemical imbalance or some little, something happens and it kind of spins a little bit, and now all of a sudden they're not playing as well as you expect them to play. They're kind of struggling, and it just kind of goes out of control. It's I think out of all the sports I've been involved with, paintball is the most emotional. Like the emotions play a big part, like the ego, the emotions, all that stuff. Everyone has pretty close to the same amount of technical ability, but it's like that mental strength and that creativity that really hurts or helps you.
Yeah, again, like we're looking in the pits right now with Revo. Every single guy that I'm looking on the screen, every one of those guys has had huge moments at some point in time really on the pro field.
Yeah.
Again, they got Sean Salcedo, O'Mara.
Good coaches.
Mike Jeffrey, he's an incredibly solid paintball mind. They brought him in to help coach. So it's there. All those components are there, and they've just underperformed. The only win they had the last event was against Diesel, so that's a good win, when you look at Diesel's roster. But lost Legion, lost to Hurricanes, lost to Damage, and then 2 losses to start out the tournament. But hey, today's a new day. If they go 2-2 today with a high margin, they could make it on a Sunday, and then maybe that could turn their season around, especially, again, with the roster that Revo's bringing to bear in 2023. Jumping back into this one here, Legion.
4-on-4, Matty.
Legion making it a game, that last one. McDarby getting a spin in the Snake. And then here comes Kirill. Kirill's going to move up, looking to progress up in the center of the field. They also have a body at that wedge, so good field position so far here currently for Legion with 11 minutes to go.
Good communication. Red Legion with attackers, 2 attackers Dorito side, 1 attacker Snake side. Malloy in the back line. Very close match here. Uprising up by 1, 10 minutes left.
Body coming off from Legion from that D side. So
yeah, it's so hard to get past that last gap over there, Matt. It's like the understanding when to force that and when not to force that is a huge part of being able to win over here on the side of the field. Malloy from the back line right to the 50. Takes a little core sample. Misses his first shot.
And here comes Malloy now on the attack past the 50, and they're going to try to do damage control, but he gets eaten up, though, and Malloy's still alive out here.
Uprising's lucky they didn't get a penalty there because Malloy shot him with his first ball, and he kept trying to go to get Malloy.
Well, the combo of McDarby and Burnikoff over here on the Snake side.
I believe it's a 1-on-1
Ooh, so it looked, I thought for a second that combo was going to work to win the point for him, but that one body left alive here for Uprising. Can't see who it is over there on the D side. I think it's Borromeo. Borromeo trying to save this one. One of their longtime veterans, Alexander Borromeo.
They both lost each other.
McDarby closing the gap. Borromeo does not know where McDarby is. And then McDarby gets eaten up, though, by the vet. So the rookie not able to get it done against the veteran Borromeo. And Borromeo going to put that 3rd point on the board here for Uprising. Give themselves a little bit of a lead with 9:44 to go. Great job by Borromeo.
Can we talk about that amazing post yesterday from Uprising?
Which post?
Welcoming the new player to the team.
I didn't see this.
Oh, you didn't see? Oh, it was a great post. There was just a video of him playing with some spray on him, and they just welcomed to the team. And it was a good post. Check it out if you get a chance.
I'm going to have to at some point. I'm kind of busy today, but maybe during the lunch break.
Time. Yeah, make some time.
So there's McDarby. Again, we talked about some of these new divisional players that Legion has picked up to try to bulk out their roster coming out of Florida. That's where the core has been training. And
Tiki's there. Tiki's baby.
He's been pretty decent, man. McDarby's had some good spins, but he just has that same, he's a young, aggressive front player.
Super athletic.
Yeah, athletic, fast. So, but just losing that one-on-one to the veteran Borromeo. And Borromeo got a red and gold Hormesis coin for you, so come see me, courtesy Coin Duel, as the Duel and the Joust, the new 101 series being brought out by Hormesis this summer.
Check out that commercial. The cowboy commercial is amazing.
We'll be playing it, yeah, for sure.
Saints have had a couple opportunities, or at least one opportunity to get on the scoreboard here, but Revo snatched that back. It's been all Revo this match, 3-0. Saints, in my opinion, man, they need to get 3 or 4 bodies up to that 40 or 50.
I couldn't agree more, Rick. I mean, look, On a field like this, look, I understand it's been a bloodbath on the break, but with the vets on Revo and the team that's comprised of that roster, you're going to have a rough time if your game plan is like, let's take some decent spots and just play smart paintball. No, that's not going to work. You have to play aggressive. If the field was a little bit different, I may be singing a different song, but so Revo's going to go heavy guns and go out wide. They stick 2 in that back center, and it looks like the Saints are doing the same. And it does work out, though, to get a shot on Sean Salcedo.
They've been keying that spot up, too, Matty. They must have figured out a bounce shot, or someone's got a good shot on that, because that's 3 points in a row that the Saints have gotten an early kill out of that bunker. Okay, Abel first to the snake for Baltimore Revo. He wraps outside, looks to go forward. Okay, one of the few guys I've seen get to the spot and wrap, and it's a good wrap because that cross wing has a really good shot and has been getting kills cross field.
I love watching Abel play. He's very creative, very aggressive.
Yeah.
Doesn't die a lot in spots. I mean, look, the ones are going to die occasionally. That happens to everyone, but he definitely is hitting more than he's missing most of the time.
Yeah.
But he's a fun player to watch.
And you know what I'm finally starting to figure out, Matty? Because, you know, paintball players are different than other people, right? Athletes, right? Paintball players are half athlete, half artist, right? So a guy like Abel, super athletic, but he gets in there and literally he does something different than everyone else does, and it's just so creative and artistic.
I love that you brought that up. That's a true thing, because I was actually having this conversation with Harrison Fry yesterday. Dynasty looking outstanding. They only dropped 2 games of running 2 lines, but we were talking about how part of good elite paintball is having an art and a creative element that you bring to your attack.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be, you know, you're part artist out there. It's like a, you know, it's like the violence of the art of paintball.
And it would be so easy if they weren't, right? If you had 5 football players out there, to get those 5 football players with the same mentality to do the same thing is real easy because they're all cut kind of the same way.
You can't be that technical.
But trying to get 5 artists to
Yeah.
do the same thing is super, super challenging, and I think that's why this skill is so challenging, because you have to be equal parts creative artist and equal parts hard-nosed athlete.
Yeah, that's why it's difficult to be really good.
Yeah, that's why it's so hard to be really good.
Yeah, so Caleb getting a kill here.
See how his gunfighting is.
Caleb's he's like, look, you're not putting me in.
He's like,
you're not going to put me in. You're not going to put me in.
Very confident that I'm going to shoot you in the face right now. Revo drops another body from that D side. Looks like Bennett Carroll's trying to sneak off the field there.
Yeah, that's 2 deaths from that side. There's no one on that D side at all right now.
Saints have something locked in over there, Matty. They're consistently winning that D side battle.
It's on your screen right here. So he's all the way as far up as he possibly can go, basically about the 45-yard line. And he's wrapping around trying to make his move across.
Put a lot of pressure on Omar in that snake insert. He's having to live all the way on the snake side of that bunker. But luckily, Abel gets the kill and goes forward, takes the pressure off Omar.
Yeah, Caleb's eating people up over here, but I don't think he knows there's still one body left alive on that D side.
Yeah, again, I think there's 2 Saints over there, Matty, and again, this is a point that they could have won.
Well, Omara goes over there to try to stop the bleeding, and I think he just got taken out. So there's still that one body, and Caleb's got to find him.
Yeah, they
definitely had 2 over there still, so the count was slightly off. But the combo of Velez, Omara, and Caleb Abel here on the snake side really worked out for him. Omara came over to stop that guy just enough to let Caleb get in a position, and Velez to get in a position to finish it. So even though they lost a couple bodies on that D side, still were able to get it done.
Uprising coming back out.
Saints, yeah, just struggling still, man. They're getting in some good spots, but you know, in that one, so they win the battle on the D side. They shoot a body on the break. They're only dealing with 1. They are not feeling much pressure. They take a ton of ground. They're doing really well over there. But they're letting Caleb bully them around here on the snake side. They just can't seem to get it together on both sides at the same time to score enough points out here to contend. Same with Legion. So it looks like Medarby is going to get another spin. He'll be in front of Burtnikoff here, snake side. And there goes the standard starting lineup.
Oh, bad breakout. Red Legion tags back in.
Able to get a clean break. Eaten to the snake off the break, and it looks like Ormrod will be taking the walk as he gets shot off the break from that back center. Oh, and it looks like Graham Arnold also going to be taking the walk from the spot can. So just 3 players left alive right now for Uprising.
Good opportunity here for Red Legion. Darby in the snake first for Red Legion with Malloy behind him.
Still got a lot of time to work with. 9:27 on the clock. But Darby crawls in to mirror up the move, and here comes Burtnikoff. Eaton right in front of him. And he's going to wrap around.
Oh,
he knows
Eaton
that
makes his first shot.
I was going to say, thought he knew that Eaton was there, but Eaton just a perfectly placed ball.
That never happens with Malloy either, where he gets
very rarely
that first gunfight.
Let's see if Eaton can get a shot on McDarby.
Great reposition.
Here comes
there in the
Kirill.
middle.
Kirill's going to come through and just absolutely punish Eaton. It cost him his body, though, and here goes Borromeo. He filters out wide during that chaos. McDarby's still alive in the snake for Legion. Looks like it's a 2-on-2 here, Rich.
Yeah, 2-on-2 or 2-on-3. I've got 2 Uprising players, one in the snake corner, one in Dreer 2. I've got at least 2 Red Legion players. I've got the Darby in the 50 and one of them over there in the wing, and one of 3-on-2 advantage for the Red Legion, Maddie.
Yeah, you can see the 2 players on the D side here on your screen, trying to push the issue. No Sergey if you're just joining us. Sergey Shanaiskov took an injury and will not be playing the rest of this event. They get a shot on Borromeo from that back corner on the snake side. It's just one body left alive. That's Ilya, and he's going to get taken out. So Legion on the board again to make this a 1-point match with about 8.5 to go. Still some fight left in Legion.
Yeah. Well, I mean, any one of those guys could go out and win a point. And at any time, Uprising could switch and become the other Uprising and not be able, not put up much resistance. Yeah, I stumbled on that artist thing yesterday because I was like, why is it so hard, to keep the momentum up and to not offend guys and all that stuff? And I think it's because they're artistic. They're like, they're different than just your typical attitude where a coach comes up and says, hey, you go do this. You're like, yes, sir, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Well, and as a coach, though, or a leader on a team, or even as a player, you have to recognize what type of player you're dealing with, right? Some guys are a little bit more, a little bit more technical or a little bit more, okay, 2 and 2's 4, I'll go to the spot, tell me what my job is. And other guys, you got to give them that artistic expression and that freedom to go get creative out there, and then they're going to play their best paintball. You got to be able to figure that out.
Yep.
And also lean into your strengths, too.
Saints with a good breakout, 5 alive, right to snake 2 on the break, Maddie, 4 across the back. Revo matches them up with the snake, they do lose a body, so 5-on-4 advantage here early on for the Latin Saints. They would love to win this point and get on the board here. Can't win a match if you don't win that first point. Got at least, 2 players at the snake there. They do not trade out. Latin Saints player taking the walk. Abel getting that first kill there, trying to wrap him, get another one. They push Abel back off that 50. He looks inside for Revo. Looks Dorito side. Saints with 4 guys across the back of the field, and obviously the Saints have to do what the Saints have to do. But if Matt and I were coaching the Saints, one thing we would say is, instead of having 4 guys in the back line here trying to, win smart gunfights and be really team-oriented, is go up the field on both tapes, trying to find the guy that's really close to you, get him off the field, and just keep applying pressure, because the longer and slower these points are, the less chance you have of winning them.
Indeed.
I feel like we've said that many times, and Mike's not paying attention. Like, Gilbert, I'm talking to you.
Revo, real nice 4-point lead. They would love to take this mercy rule win here.
4-on-3 advantage here now for the Saints.
I was going to say, but they have.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Saints
matter.
aren't in any positions to do anything.
Yeah, it's because Revo went in -6 yesterday. Any other moment, if they had a different situation, I'd say, look, hey, you have a 4-point lead. There's only 3.5 minutes to cruise, right? And they still could do that, but the problem is that even if they win both their games today and they go 2 and 2, they have to worry about the spread. So they need every point. They have to still push this.
Yeah, they need to win by 6, right?
Yes, ideally.
I mean, that's got to be the goal. Like, that's what the coaches got to tell me before and go, like, listen, I expect you to win. I want you to win by 6 points.
Look, when you're playing, if you go 0-2 first day with -6, you're playing the Saints for your first game on Saturday, the goal is 1,000% to win by 6.
Yeah.
That's the goal. If we don't do that, we failed in this game, because that's what's needed for us to move on in this tournament. And with 2 15 places in a row, with the roster we have, that's not good enough.
So, Gilbert, pay attention. Make sure you're having that conversation with your boys before this point about having to stay the turn and go for
another body
Saints
coming off. Oh, but a little bit of a gift here. So Revo loses a body on that D side, and then they're going to break open that D side even with the penalty. It looks like the Saints are going to go in to steal this point. He's raising his gun up like he was going to shoot O'Mara. I'm like, do not shoot O'Mara. Just hit the buzzer.
Yeah, and O'Mara and Abel don't know that they just lost that point. They thought that they won it. They looked back like, what? I mean, they still have a nice cushy 3-point margin, but that was a really nice move down the real side for the Saints there.
Yeah, just now that that mercy rule 6-point win is starting to leak away here, and I mean they could still come out in the next game. The issue is it's not going to get any easier. The next game is going to be against Aftermath, and Aftermath also dropped 2 games yesterday. They went undefeated with prelims at the last event.
Be a nasty little match.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, let's listen to him real quick.
I didn't see it. No, obviously I didn't. Hey, it's gonna be Caleb, Steven, Zach, Rob, Silos. Let's go, boys. Okay, Zach's going Trump. Shoot, get out of here, get out of here.
No, Mike, that's not how it works.
Hey, Mike, you do your job, we'll do our job.
I know you just got here, Mike, but welcome to the show. It's a show.
That's what show thinks. Red Legion breaking out hard. Darby to the snake on the break. 5 alive for Red Legion. Uprising dropping their first snake attacker, Maddie. 4-on-5 advantage here for Red Legion. Down by 1 point with a little bit more than 8 minutes left in this match. This match is far from over as another Uprising player takes the walk. 5-on-3 advantage here for Uprising as Malloy fields from the snake corner into the snake 50. Love that from him. I love the fact that he's playing more proactively and taking more responsibility for his team going out and scoring points. Anybody can hide in the back. Malloy goes forward into their snake, and I love the fact that instead of trying to get those gunfights from the 50, he goes right into their side. Unfortunately, he loses his attacker D side.
Yeah, Malloy in a good position here on your screen in the snake. Trying to tie this game up. A lot of time to work with and not much of a deficit, so he can go as slow as he wants. But here comes the push on the D side and going to get that crossfield kill here for Uprising. So Uprising rising to the occasion. They still have to shoot McDarby, though. McDarby in a good position at that 50-yard line, inside snake position.
Yeah, he's missing the cross shot on that Dorito.
Another body, two more have come off from that D side. Now a third, so torching people from that D side. Uprising, I believe, with Borromeo again. So Borromeo put the team on his back a little bit here.
Yeah, Red Legion should have won that point.
Still has to deal with McDarby, and I don't think he knows where McDarby is, but McDarby almost gets his shot on Borromeo, but Borromeo dodges it and then goes across, and then McDarby, in his transition in the tactical retreat, he ends up getting clipped, and that's going to do it.
Maddie, that was a 5-on-3, and Red Legion had position and lost that point. That's just stellar, just as bad as you can get individual, not team play from the Red Legion. Really, really good individual players not working together and losing to an inferior force in better position.
Well, it's like, you know, the scouting report or just a little bit of information, not really scouting. It's like, hey, we're having a hard time getting all the guys together just based on circumstance. So, but this is a symptom of that.
Yes.
So, and again, they're doing the best they can with what they have
together on the field.
So, it's but it's still, this has just been a very frustrating year for Legion. In the pits with Uprising, there's Alexander Borromeo having a game out here today.
Yeah, he's locking in over there on that D side.
Good job peeling back that
D2, D1.
Revo releases to the corner and to the center brick. Both guys get there alive. A little advantage on the break here for Revo as Saints push into the snake, and so does Revo. Looks like Caleb Abel right to snake 2.
I feel like the Rich, we haven't really seen as many deaths off the break this morning in set 1 as we saw yesterday.
Yeah, people are tightening. They're just not taking as big a bite on the break, Maddie. They're playing the pocket early and then trying to make those secondary bunkers.
But teams are risking the snake. It's just no one's really getting those shots.
Yeah, the runners have figured out their lanes a little bit better. And again, the guy for the Saints gets to the 50 and then loses a gunfight with Caleb Abel. And when you gunfight somebody and you lose that first time, that's got to teach you to back off a little bit the second time.
It's
Don't
Ramirez.
pressure him. Ramirez again, yeah. Don't pressure him. You know, obviously he's got the advantage on you, so make him make a mistake. Don't force yourself to make a mistake. Caleb really communicating well to Zach. Zach switches his gun from the center brick from looking Dorito side to looking snake side.
Yeah, Geiger trying to protect Abel.
Yeah. You can tell, though, that he doesn't know where the guy in the snake is for the Saints, so he's just watching over the best gap that he has. Caleb's watching over Zach. Zach's watching over Cable, which is enabling another Revo player to get outside and start pushing down the Doritos. Revo still with 5 bodies alive. And again, Saints are kind of sitting back here, you know, kind of waiting for something to happen instead of creating something or making something happen. And when you're playing against a higher ranked team that's better than you and that's leading, you want to try to attack. Keep them off balance, keep them out of their comfort zone.
Okay,
Geiger
now
gets that kill.
They need to get things going here. So it's a couple more bodies they got to work out. Well, with 47 seconds left, Revo needs to find a way to work down the field to put up this 5th point. They need this cushion.
Yeah, and I hope Mike had that conversation with them before the point, like, hey, we're going to win this match, but we want to win at 7-1 or 6-0, something like that, because we need this margin.
If they win this one, if they can put this point on the board, and it's looking like they got a decent chance to do it. Yep, there goes the 2 more kills. They still have 1 body to work out. Back corner bunker here, Snake's side. Here comes Omar's trying to find it, and there he's going to hit the afterburners and get in. He's definitely going to have enough time. Great job by Revo. They know they needed that point because now they got a 4-point cushion. They had a -6. They're going to finish this game most likely with a 1-2 record, heading into play Aftermath with a -2 on the spread, which means if they can beat Aftermath by, say, 3 or 4, which again, that's going to be hard because Aftermath's getting pretty good. And Aftermath lost 2 games yesterday, so they're definitely going to need some wins. They're going to be playing against the best Aftermath they're going to see. But Revo still has a chance to move on to Sunday. But they need to beat Aftermath by, I think 4 is probably the number, that +2.
Yeah.
We'll have to see how it all shakes out with the rest of the teams in the brackets, but...
Yeah, because a lot of upsets yesterday, a lot of kind of back and forth games. So it'll be interesting to see where the points all end up at the end of today.
Where's my paint looking?
Uprising is actually looking pretty good.
It's Uprising, man. I just never know what I'm going to see. Some days they come out and I'm like, wow, look how good Uprising looks. And other days it's like, because we're like, oh yeah, the veterans are dialed right now. And then other days I'm like, they look puzzled out there. So the most inconsistent team in the game.
But consistently inconsistent. They get back out to that corner. Uprising gets to both corners, Matt. Great breakout for Uprising. 5 alive. They don't get any eliminations, but they get outside on both sides. Red Legion needs to dial in those breakout shots a little bit. They shouldn't let guys take both corners on them. Secondary from back center is Uprising. Now they have 3 snake side, 1 in the center, 1 D side. Red Legion takes the first walk, so 4-on-5 advantage here for Uprising as they fill into Dorito 1 and Snake 1.
Legion filtering out from that back center to try to give McDarby some help. Body pushing here towards the snake side.
Yeah, McDarby is up in that snake, looking inside, trying to shut down the center / Dorito side.
These points going faster, that's why there's still not much time left. So stacking up another body here as Ormrod gets into the snake, filtering out from that back center. Nice couple moves from Ormrod.
Yeah, and I love the fact that Ormrod can shoot out of the break out of back center, right? So use that gun, but then still get into that snake 1 and use all those skills that he has from the front now instead of the back. Not a lot of 2/3s can do that. He does that really well.
Move on the D side all the way into D4 here. This is Uprising pushing the issue. Graham Arnold's going to start filtering towards the D side. He gets to the back center. He's going to get out into D1. Darby's been going back and forth. Now going to be putting his gun towards that D side. Another move from Graham Arnold gets out to the tower as Ormrod crawls up into Snake 2. So
I don't know if they're talking to Darby or not. I can't hear any communication. Another Red Legion player taking the walk. So is the Uprising player. So 4-on-3 advantage now for Uprising as they lose their first attacker. Darby's kind of an odd island over here on the snake.
Yeah, I think that was Pankoff taking the walk from the D side. One of their first attackers, and that's not going to help their cause, but they do have Graham Arnold who worked over to put himself in position, and that's why, as that 2, right? I mean, Graham's pretty mobile. He had made those 3 moves to get over, and then now that Pankoff dies, he's in a position to take over that attack, even though he's still in D2, but at least he's over there.
Yep.
If he hadn't made those moves, then it would have been much more difficult for him to now make those moves to get
all
over.
that real estate. Oh, looked right into one.
So Ormrod
taking the walk.
Yeah, Ormrod had put himself in a decent position, but losing a gunfight here in the snake.
To Darby. Darby now repositioned, going backwards, trying to get another position. And that's one thing I think all the snake guys can do is a better job of, coming up, either making or missing a shot, and then repositioning so that you're always somewhere where they think you're not, waiting for them to go get you in your last spot.
Yeah, McDarby with a little tactical retreat here. Only down by 2 with 4:20 on the clock here, Legion. Still a lot of work to do for them. Still 3 bodies now out there left alive for Uprising. And you can see there Graham Arnold on that Dorito side. Now here's the 3 bodies on the snake side for Legion. And just Eaton over here on the snake side. He's on an island right now, and that outside snake 2.
And they're finally starting to eat up some of this clock on this. It's been a longer match, but this point is slowing down a little bit.
Yeah, Uprising is also sitting at they're at a -7 right now.
Yeah,
so they need every point they can get to.
Interesting. Malloy moves back inside from the corner and now goes all the way to the other corner, crossing the field. So I think it's a 2-on-3, Maddie. Red Legion with at least 2. Yeah, Malloy now in Dorito 3 over there. So 2 Red Legion.
Here comes Darby. Darby comes through and trades out with Eaton.
That was a great move for Darby because it blew up in this whole tape. Unfortunately, Malloy gets shot at the same time.
It's Mick Darby.
Oh, sorry.
Mick Darby.
Mick Darby.
It's like McDonald's, but a little different.
Yeah. Like a McFlurry.
Must be Irish.
Irish-Russian?
Something like that. Oh, Krill gets eaten up by Alexander Borromeo. So Borromeo, man, really clocking in here today.
Just over the top for too long there.
And another good point by Graham Arnold. Arnold had some good ones yesterday, so I mean that's been 2 of their longtime core members here, Borromeo and Arnold, getting it done for Uprising. Put that 5th point on the board for them.
Yeah, Borromeo stepping up.
Tough thing for Uprising is that definitely looking like they most likely going to take this win, but they have to play X Factor next, and X Factor went 1-1 yesterday.
Yeah, it was an interesting game for X Factor because some players were playing different positions than they usually played.
Graham Arnold shot through his entire pack. Arnold's been doing work out there, man.
Yep. That's the difference between them playing not well and well. It's just 2 or 3 of those guys locking in.
Going to jump back into this Baltimore Revo Latin Saints match. Only about 20 seconds left, so just wondering if the Saints are going to try to streak down the field and put another point on the board for pride and margin, and because Revo would love to get another point. They need everyone they can get here on Saturday to have a chance to make it to Sunday. But with this 4-point cushion, if they could beat Aftermath by a couple, to still have a chance. If you're just tuning in and haven't watched a lot of pro paintball, these teams get 4 games in the prelims. There's 20 pro teams. 10 will move on. 2-2 with a slightly positive point differential, say a +2, typically will get you on a Sunday. You most likely be playing in a wild card round. Dynasty had to play out of the wild card round at the last event, and they were able to win 4 games to win the tournament. Now here comes the full court press from everybody as it's just complete chaos out here. Affix bayonets and go forward.
Yeah, and in Matt and I's opinion, Mikey Gilbert, you guys should be playing more points like this. You have much better chance of winning this point than you do a slow, methodical point.
Yeah, Saints almost were able to steal that one, Rich. Yeah. They snuck that body in the chaos up the D side. If he had just had
2 seconds.
Well, yeah, maybe another. It might have needed about 1.5 seconds. And it was Portman who was trying to get in there and just wasn't able to do it. So looks like Revo going to be taking that victory. Baltimore Revo going to be playing Aftermath around 11 o'clock out here Eastern time.
Hey, we got the point. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Good job. Best case scenario. Yeah, nice.
Mike was saying they got the point. Did they get that point?
They did not get the point.
I didn't see a major.
But I like his positive attitude.
Yeah. Jumping into this Uprising and Legion battle here. 3-point spread, 3 minutes on the clock.
The Red Legion's really got to be scratching their heads here, Matty. You know they expected to be winning this match by 5-2, not losing this match by 5-2.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more training together, more time is what's needed. Ideally, I don't know how severe Sergey's injury is. Having him be able to be back for the next event would be pretty crucial. Getting Smotrov back for the next event would be crucial if possible. McDarby in a really good spot here. He's all the way on to Uprising side. They are going to lose Burtonkoff behind him, though, so it's just going to be just McDarby with no one else in here with him, unless Legion can filter a body this way. Kirill going to come out and get to the spot can clean. Definitely moving towards the snake side to try to help out McDarby.
Yeah, I like that fill out there after losing Malloy. Looks like Seattle Uprising is just happy to just sit here and shoot their guns and run a little time off the clock. Red Legion drops another attacker, Dorito side, Matt.
And Kirill, a couple nice moves from Kirill, makes us all the way up here to help out McDarby, but McDarby gets shot. They also lose a body on that D side.
Kirill gets his first elimination, though, from that snake insert, Matty.
Here comes Karslev. Karslev gunfighting his way up the D side as well. Did he get clipped diving into D3? It looks like he's clean.
Karslev and Kirill trying to pull this game off. One attacker on both tapes for Red Legion. I think it's a 2-on-3 or 2-on-4. I can't see all the bodies. Karslev repositioning inside from the Dorito to the wing. He can watch over Kirill a little bit better there.
Uprising just burning clock right now.
Yeah.
Gonna be content to take.
Happy to take a win against the Red Legion by any margin.
Yeah,
right?
3-point win would be good. And then it's gonna come down to what they do in their next match against, let's see. Yeah, Uprising, again, has to play X Factor next.
I thought X Factor in my mind, but I immediately assumed that I was wrong, and I was like, no, I'll let Matt figure it. I don't want to sound any dumber than usual.
So now down to 39 seconds. A couple more bodies coming off. It looks like
Karuga's-
Karslev dies, and then it looks like Ilya's going to die as well too. And lots of bodies getting shot out there here. Did everyone trade?
I was going to say, it's either no point or Uprising has one player left alive.
It's a no point. So score will remain the same. 25 seconds to go in regulation time, and it will be 2 minutes in between points here. We got a fun set coming up next, though, as it's going to be Infamous and AC Diesel.
Woo!
And then Impact and Aftermath.
Woo!
So Infamous and AC Diesel, both of those teams are undefeated. Diesel looks a lot more legit. Yesterday, they beat the brakes off of Uprising. Wasn't even close, 6-0. And then AC Diesel, in a very close battle against X Factor, prevailed there in overtime. So allowed them to go undefeated, sitting at a +7. Now, Infamous, Scrappy, no Zach Patient here, no Jonah Jamrose, but Tim Brusselback's playing really well in the Snake. Their D side is very strong with Sam Silberg and Nate Schrader over there. And then, their 2s and 3s are super solid veterans. Thomas Taylor in the running for the $500, courtesy of Pate Smith Law for move of the prelims so far, because the big 4-pack he had when they were down by 2, I think it was, kind of really turned the tables in that match. So
super interesting to see how Travis Lemansky handles or coaches against Mouse, Clint Johnson, and J-Rab over here, triple stack and Diesel on the Snake side. Obviously they scouted him yesterday, saw how strong that lineup was. So it'll be interesting to see what Travis does to kind of take advantage or...
Yeah, when I looked at the schedule today and based on how things went yesterday, it's in the morning bracket one of the more compelling matches because, with the players missing from Infamous and how good they got or how well they did the last event and with how, Scrappy Diesel was yesterday and how much they underperformed, it's like, okay, that's two good stories right there that will be doing battle coming up next. And then with Impact and Aftermath as well, they went undefeated in the prelims at the last event,
right. Barely
lost on Sunday, and they're going to be playing Impact now. Impact, no Dalton. He's injured, so that's a key component of that D-side attack. But Jesus, Impact's just so deep that, yeah, it's Dalton, World Cup MVP, he's a legend, but next man up. And it's like, okay, well then JC, Brandon Cornell, whatever, man. Those guys are legends and amazing too. So here we go, 22 seconds left to see if somebody can put another point on the board. Looks like Karslev maybe slipped and fell a little bit, lost his gun, picked it back up. Wasting a couple precious seconds. Body dropping in the middle here for Legion. Going to be a penalty assessed on Legion. And I don't think Uprising is going to have enough time to get down the field, though.
But there's nobody to pull, so they might get the point anyway.
Ormrod made an attempt, but did they stop? They stopped it with 3. They should be burning that clock off, though.
I agree. Let's just call it.
Was there? I couldn't say. They stopped it at 3. I heard point approved from the computer. So I'm not sure, maybe Uprising was able to, didn't see if there was a red flag that we missed. But regardless, Uprising is going to be taking the victory here, so they still got a chance. That is Legion's 3rd loss, so most likely knocking them out of the tournament. But stick around, coming up next again, Infamous taking on AC Diesel, 2 teams that are both undefeated, and then Impact and Aftermath in the next set here, 2023 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall here with Rich Telford on gosports.com. We'll be back.
Hey, they got that pointer on your shot, Wavy. That guy was it that guy in the middle? Yeah, I shot him in the back and he was playing. I'm like, man.
Bottles on my field.
Hey, this is Walker with Carbon Paintball here to talk to you about our SC custom jerseys. To start your team's design, head over to crbnpaintball.com, fill in some team information, including what colors, what template you want to base your jersey off of, upload your main team logo and any sponsors, enter your name and your number, and we're going to kick you back a 3D image of your jersey. The custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable. The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com.
I think that this is going to be a layout that's going to benefit anybody that's naturally aggressive. To have that practice where we have aggressive teams meet us in the center, it's a bloodbath, and it's preparing us for the war that we're about to go into. And I know that they're being prepared for the war that they're about to go into, given that this is our first year in the professional division. We're sitting lower than we'd like. The last event, Lone Star Major, we had a rough one. We were fighting. We definitely fought nonstop, and we were punching up, and we were fighting some bigger guys at the time. And unfortunately, our scores showed it. We went 0-4 at the event, but that gave us a great bottom to go from. The only way to go when you're hitting rock bottom is up, and it was humbling. It's gonna be a firefight, and everybody's locked, loaded, ready to go.
Who you kidding around? Out there hating still can't bring me down. Matter of fact, look how I'm living now. Can't give you figures, it's a big amount. Spanish women with me sipping crown. I'm just here to have a look around. Get to work, I'm here to lift some pounds. I'm on another wave, a different sound. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk. Gotta keep quiet, maneuver in silence, then let them in, chalk up their body, another one body, that's just how it go. I got some secrets, I'm shaking the game so they stay on their toes. Stay in your lane, how to stay on the go. I can't play with the pros and act like a rookie, so they overlook me. They not double up again, none of their nose, none of them cold. They just got lucky but never adapted, so I'm to the one if it's coming to blows. My enemies cutting it close, I let them think that they got me, but what do you know? I had them beat before we ever spoke, I'm ready for smoke. I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now they ain't go harder than me, they need a blade in a sheath, a shank in a piece, a crate full of heat, an army, a fleet, a tank and a jeep, a navy at sea, with ace a marine, an ace up their sleeve, a team of marines, a freak on a leash, a beast with an appetite, razor for teeth, and still they will lay at my feet. Boy, you got the wrong one. I gotta look over all of my publishing statements for Q1 as soon as the song's done. I gotta call up my mama and tell her I made it as soon as my log's done. I gotta read all my trade publications and sip my tea till it is all done. I think it's all fun. I need everything, I need all of everything, yeah. You a simp, you ain't in my lane, you a lame, bitch get out my way, 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 out my way. Look, whack, fast, locals say the most. Do the least okay. Talk behind my back to my face, ain't a peep okay. But that be outrageous, admit you did the least okay. Step out to the nines, my 3-piece ain't got a crease okay. It's okay, it's okay. Kill on and capiche okay. I be damned if I just made my money over beats okay. Frito-Lay, chips out on the table, time to ante up. Damn it, bruh, you be liable to lose the phantom, bruh. She's okay, risk it all for what to lose, like it's okay. Can't relate, always had your bets before you reach okay. I'm center stage, heavy risk, evident. My investments aging like a pessimist. Benefits, and you know that my resume is a heavyweight. Yeah, put it on my back, give me everything. Yeah, I need everything. I need all of everything. Yeah.
We got a ton of great announcements, a huge show, and all the news and all the stuff that's going on. Possibly, allegedly. We are ripping right now. We got some sick giveaways. Amazing, everybody.
Missouri All-Stars have been playing together out of Kansas City for about going on 5 years. Our play style is super aggressive. We like to just be in your face constantly, can just keep the gas going the whole time. D4 season, I had hit Walker up and was like, hey man, like, what's the situation with this carbon gear? It looks awesome, I would like to get my guys in it. And from right then and there, D4 season 4 years ago, he got us plugged in. We've been with him ever since. They're here at every event. They have gear that you can buy on hand. They have lenses on hand. If you have a tear in your knee pad, you need to swap that out. They'll have that for you. I've literally had Walker in my pit in Dallas asking me if I need help with pits. Like, you can't ask for anything more from a sponsor.
If it's meant to be, I'm up and coming, but calming down, I'm centering.
And we are back. 2023 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall.
Got Rich Telford and stoked to have Nick Sloviak up here from the Los Angeles Ironmen to help us call this set, and this one's going to be a good one. Nick, you picked a great one to come up for, as it's going to be LA Infamous taking on AC Diesel. Both those teams are undefeated. Diesel looks so much better yesterday than they did at the beginning of the season. Also in this set, Impact and Aftermath desperately needs a win. They lost both their games yesterday. Impact is undefeated as well. Jumping into point number 1, looking like taking the snake immediately here. Going heavy guns. Infamous going to be losing and dropping a body from that D side. Might be losing another one out of that back center. Trying to scurry out. Looks like he makes it clean, at least initially to the spot cam, but then now he's going to be taking a walk too. So it's a 3-on-5 situation here in favor of AC Diesel. Yeah,
Diesel continuing to look really, really good here. Just continuing to do what they did well yesterday. Win the breakout, win the snake battle. Mouse now eliminated from the snake. So 4-on-3 advantage for Diesel. Still got Clint Johnson and J-Rab who like to rotate this side for Diesel and go through the snake.
Yeah, I think it was Brustleback over here for Infamous that's in the snake. 50 now that got that elimination. Heads up on Mouse.
Nice. It's a great kill. Tim played really well yesterday. I mean, with the story with Infamous, if you didn't get a chance to check him out yesterday, no Zach Patient here, no Jonah Jamrose. So it's going to be up to Tim Brustleback to handle the duties on the snake side, and he's been doing it very nicely.
Yeah, he got Mouse and Clint Johnson now, so that's a real big clock in here for Brustleback. Now, J-Rab's doing a great job of staying alive and communicating that Brustleback is in that 50. But J-Rab's in a tough spot. He's looking into the sun. He gets out of the back center now and fills the corner. That's a great read and fill from J-Rab. Big mistake there, letting Brustleback get him out.
And this is, no one saw that move. And Justin taking a page out of what happened to him yesterday against X Factor. Snuck out to the corner. Now 2 bodies walk off. I think it's Thomas Taylor on the D side, so only 1 body left alive for Infamous. I think it's Brett Messer filters out to that straight side corner.
3-on-3 to a 3-on-1 off of a great move from J-Rab here, snake side.
Yeah, it was initially power play right off the break, essentially, for AC Diesel getting those first 2 kills. Then Tim Brustleback steps up, turns it into a 3-on-3, and then J-Rab makes a beautiful move to essentially seal the fate for Infamous in this one if they can finish this last kill off, which they are able to do. So nice work. AC Diesel going to be putting the first point on the board here in a battle of the undefeated teams here at the Mid-Atlantic Major.
Yeah, it was definitely really interesting to see that, how that shook down, because that really was just individual play. Like Brustleback gets over here, single-handedly gets 2 eliminations. He did miss his shot wrapping the 50 snake on J-Rab.
And
J-Rab
that cost him.
And no one else on Infamous. They're in the back center and they're in the first Dorito on that far tape, and essentially mirrored up with their counterparts on Diesel, and they make no moves. And as J-Rab, as you said previously, sneaks out here, gets that elimination on Brustleback. I don't know who shot Thomas Taylor. It might have been Justin, but based on just those 2 individual moves, we saw a complete breakdown of both sides for each of those teams.
Yeah, so poor zone control for sure.
Coming out to play this first point here, Impact and Aftermath. Impact yesterday defeated Revo by 2, and then just had a pretty easy game against the Saints. That was when the rain set in, so they had the longest point of the tournament. So it was a low-scoring game, but still 2 wins for them. Aftermath undefeated in the prelims at the last event, making Sunday, lost a close game on Sunday. But they did not have a good day yesterday, grinding their gears on the offense, and it looks like Aftermath going to be losing a body to start things out here as they keep 2 bodies in the back center to try to get a kill, but they let Impact get Axel to 50 snake.
Sorry, Matty, yeah. Big bite for Axel, and they went Dorito, like Dorito 3 now, going Dorito 4, Matty. Axel and Impact playing very offensively here this first point against Aftermath.
And here comes Nick Laval to filter in behind Axel as another body comes off here for Aftermath, and they are feeling the pressure as 2 more bodies come off. And Edmonton Impact looking real good here in point number 1. Just Grayson Gladstone left out there back center, and he's in a real tough position.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he was going.
Doesn't really matter, which stinks. I mean, yeah, that was full court press, right? Was that Brandon Cornell ran essentially to the Dorito 3?
Immediately into 4.
Yeah, and Axel
right to the 50 snake.
He was past it when I saw him. He was on their side in their inside mini wall. So really, really aggressive breakout by Edmonton Impact. And the thing that impressed me the most was watching Brandon run that way. He ran and shot the entire way.
Yeah.
And didn't look like there was any pressure on him. And yeah, this is, like Matty, as you said, like we saw a really strong, really disciplined, like gritty Aftermath in Texas, and it's just kind of been the complete opposite for him here so far this event.
Yeah, I mean, they have, 2 more games to go. Just not getting off to a good start. Aftermath really exerted their will on them. We're in the pits. there with Impact. Impact was just doing whatever they wanted to. Like you said, a very aggressive play call to start this match. We had a bit of a bloodbath yesterday off the break. They still decided to send Axel essentially to the 50-yard line within 2-3 seconds.
Yeah.
He's real hard to shoot. Okay, AC Diesel up by 1 on Infamous with a bunch of time left to go, just getting into point number 2.
Infamous, heavy pocket, Matty. 4 in the pocket. Thomas Taylor, the only one outside. They shoot Mark Johnson on the break. 5-on-4 advantage here for Infamous.
Yeah, the heavy guns up worked out well for him as they do get that initial kill and have the one body advantage and getting a little bit of penetration on that D side, getting Silberg to the wedge.
Clint Johnson's getting a lot of pressure in that snake insert, Matty. He can barely put his gun up. He's got Mouse and J-Rab behind him.
Yeah, it's a good play call by Infamous to get out to the Dorito side wedge and look inside right away because
pressure, right?
Yeah, so if no one on the other team makes it into the snake, you can just sit there and shoot cross, and Infamous going to lose their first body, I think, is Ryan Hall getting cyclopsed.
J-Rab, great field to the corner there. Now goes forward from the corner to snake 1.
Russell back in a good spot here, 50-yard line snake for Infamous. Not feeling any pressure. He's going to pop the top, try to get a kill on that spot can and wrap around.
Does the same thing he did last time. Misses his first shot, gets caught by the inside.
Yeah, good, and that's just good zone control. That's a tough death for Brusselback, but real good zone control here for Diesel.
Yeah, now J-Rab sneaks up into that snake. Infamous is down to 3 bodies left alive, so 3-on-4 advantage here for Diesel.
Yeah, the thing that's going to break down in this point is not looking good for Infamous is whoever went to that Dorito wedge to shoot cross to the snake, once you get the call across that the one person in front of you has been eliminated and they're not in the snake yet, you need to reposition because if you make the move that J-Rab did to go out wide and around, you can't see that.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't know now.
If you've been watching this Dorito player, he's just been sitting in a position where he can't see that stuff. And that's allowed these positions to be taken now by Impact, by AC Diesel. I look at the guys and I'm like,
hey,
Impact.
I feel your pain, Nick.
I've been doing the same thing for the last 2 events. You see Mouse jump in the snake, you're immediately, oh, J-Rab, oh, Impact.
Yeah, but to say, they do, Diesel right there on your screen. Now we're switching over to Infamous on the D side. They're playing like there is someone in the snake.
Snake for sure.
And you got to know that Brusselback, who is like Infamous's pretty much primarily #1 attacker over here, has been eliminated.
Well, and Infamous was able to get outside wide on that D side and get some forward progression. They're all the way into D4, so if he can produce from there, might be able to turn the tables. Thomas Taylor has found his way in the back corner bunker here, try to stop the bleeding on the snake side. Schrader still alive. He's at the tower. I think that's got to be Silberg at that D4. He's a little tucked in from the spot.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure, Matty.
Yeah, Sam Silberg. You can see there on your screen the new pickup coming over from Level this year and getting a lot of opportunities. Looked pretty good yesterday.
Yeah, he needs to get Nate Schrader over there with him to help because
takes some of that pressure off him, right?
It's a 2-on-1 on that side. And right now, Clint Johnson and J-Rab are playing just on Silberg. If Nate can come behind him, put him in, and he can go forward and take out whoever's in front of him on Infamous, that'll really open up that side for Nate to go to work, and it'll force Alex and Justin to have to push into Thomas Taylor in the corner.
Well, if they're going to go to work on that D side, Thomas has to stay alive on the snake side, and that's what he's been doing. I mean, he's just kind of hiding in that back corner bunker, really no option with the 2 bodies in front of him. Goldman now has moved up, trying to look for that crossfield shot, feeling a little pressure, and the referee's going to come in and give him a check. Looks like he's good to go. I mean, Sam, if he's able to stand up real tall, will be able to put a ball in on Goldman's back, but he's tucked in so tight to that spot. He has to get up real tall to be able to do that, get the ankle from that position.
Yeah, Clint Johnson's in a great position to shoot crossfield from that snake insert to really make it hard for him.
Can bounce it off the back of snake 2 into the back of J-Rab right now from that corner.
Yeah, and he can also shoot it off. I think he can kind of shoot it off the 50 cake.
Possible, yeah, definitely.
Just need to pump that gap.
There's so many bounce shots on this one.
Yeah, it's the most I've ever seen on a field. Like legit bounce shots where it really affects the game, not just guys talking about stupid stuff.
It reminds me of World Cup a few years back when I got in there to demonstrate it for the people.
Oh, yeah.
You shut the crap out of me.
I don't remember that.
People don't forget.
People don't forget. J-Rab communicating really well at the 50 snake, but communicating as if he's in back center, but with a much better perspective because he's on the 50 instead of the back center. And again, such a big asset when you can have a guy shoot on the break and then move into a 50-yard line like that and communicate for you.
Schrader trying to get creative here to get himself out of that tower and present more of a threat. Goes up to the wedge, gets much closer to Silberg.
Yeah, probably should have done that a little earlier, right? It's a 3-on-4 and they're down a point here, so they kind of need to go play a little bit offensively. Otherwise, Impact is just going to Diesel's just going to grind this point out and then end up winning the point anyway with less time for Infamous to come back.
Yeah, we're seeing kind of a Sunday point already. It's going to be who's the next body to drop.
Who did Clinton pick him up?
Well, and
he missed him.
That's the gap over there. That's how far you can get. You can get to that wing and you can get to that Dorito, but it's super hard to get past that.
Yeah, either Clinton or J-Rab got that shot.
And off that elimination,
Diesel flies down the field now.
Is that Spica over there?
Might be 4-on-1.
Kyle Spica. So Kyle Spica clocking in on the D side. Beautiful job by J-Rab, Clint Johnson, and Mouse over here on the Snake side. Very calm, very composed, aggressive in the beginning, and then they switched gears and played very tactically and perfect. It was just a great close.
Mouse getting a little fired up there. Thomas had that look in his eye like, don't push me, Mouse. Don't push it.
Let's listen in here. We're in the pits with AC Diesel.
Okay, good job. Hey, and then Bravo was going Omaha and back. Just so we all know.
Clint Johnson.
Clint Johnson.
Omaha and Bravo. Come here. Nate finally came from the turnout.
Moved up there. Nate was coming through there.
Justin, come here real quick. Good shit, Kyle.
Nico, you're 1, Kyle, you're 2.
I need pod.
Hey, just to be clear, Mark got shot back up to the second.
Yeah, so definitely a starting 5 is emerging on AC Diesel right now, or maybe a starting 6. Jumping into this next point here, Edmonton Impact up by 1 over Aftermath. See if Aftermath can answer with...
Impact with 5 alive here, Maddie. Aftermath with 5 alive as well.
There goes on a delay. Aftermath trying to get Morris into the Snake, hits the deck. He played so well for him at the last event.
Yeah, and he produces well for him. When he gets in the 50 Snake, he's a good gunfighter, and they rely on him. Aftermath's dropping their first body. Matt, if you had to hazard a guess, what do you think is going on with the Aftermath camp? They started off really, really well last event, but they've been struggling a little bit here so far.
It's one of those things that, yeah, they had a really good showing. It's just so tough to stay consistent in this league.
That's 100%.
And also with, I mean, those are guys with not a ton of reps on the pro field. So they're still just getting their feet underneath them. And
inconsistent, right? Have the talent, just haven't got the consistency.
Yeah, road's long, right?
Yep.
And I know they're training a lot.
That makes sense.
We had a pretty good practice against them last weekend on the layout. And I felt like they did a decent job of just maintaining their discipline and staying controlled. But that's just the big wrench you throw in there when you lose bodies early and you don't reposition correctly against these veteran teams and veteran players. That's where your weaknesses shine through.
Well, Grayson has glided into the Snake. He's at outside Snake 2. He's looking like he might wants to crawl around, try to give Morris some help. There's Morris on your screen at the 50-yard line fortress, Snake side. Zupa in front of him. Zupa looking crossfield, pops a top real quick, and then still stays on that D-side lane.
Yeah, Zupa hasn't really been shooting his gun, so they're not really sure where he is. He crawls into that defensive Snake 2 cut where he can catch the guy if he rounds the 50.
Yeah, and there's 2 guys in there for Aftermath as they lose their second body.
But this is that survivability. So Aftermath is, you know, they'll do really well on one side of the field, and then guys will die on the other side. Just trying to get that all together at the same time, like they had the last event, has been a little bit of a struggle for them. So this is 2 deaths that's costing them a little bit with it while having 2 guys in the Snake. Gladstone and Morris are in the Snake trying to do work with 1 body in front of them. And there's no one, I mean, Zupa doesn't have much help. He has Matt at the back center.
He's got home and that's it.
Yeah, home and that's it, because Reeser's looking towards that D side. They're all the way, Impact's all the way on Aftermath side with JC. JC's looking to run through, and he's going to go to their wedge, really trying to put the pressure on. He's going to get some help. There's 3 bodies that way.
Yeah, he's
nice
right in front of Brandon.
Great fill out for Jackson to go try to help out Zupa.
So the trade has happened on the Dorito side.
JC got his guy.
So now, if that's Nick Laval over there, or maybe that's Drula, that whole Dorito side's blown open.
It's Drula and Reeser.
Oh, I see Reeser now.
Yeah, Reeser's at D4, Drula's at D3.
And Aftermath has no idea that those 2 guys are over there.
And they're going to concede the point.
Smart concession from Coach.
That is a
there.
very smart concession.
That was not going to end well for the Aftermath boys.
But it stinks too, because both these guys here on the Snake side for Aftermath had an opportunity to work together to take out Zupa, maybe trade, and then, like we said, Matt Jackson's on the back center.
100%.
They're near impossible to fill
at all, right? They basically just hid, didn't shoot their guns, didn't really get into the game the whole time.
Mike Hinman agrees from down below.
Mikey Hinman.
I look back. He wants me to go get the fucking Snake too.
I know.
Mike Hinman getting convinced to come back.
I was telling it.
I heard he got multiple late night texts and phone calls from the AC Diesel camp. Mike, we need you.
Well, hey,
Please, Mike,
let's listen in real quick, because after Coach Ramirez is talking to Gladstone.
I was telling Brian to go get him so I can take the alpha over.
No, you need to go and kill him.
Okay, fine.
Brian's already in position.
That's kind of what we were talking about,
Yeah.
right? We just said the same thing.
Yeah, Gladstone had the ball. He just didn't pick it up and run with
Yeah, look, sometimes you want to slow play it a little bit, let the play develop, but sometimes you have to force it, especially if you're losing the other side. They just didn't know that. So,
Absolutely.
2-point lead for Diesel.
Yeah, big Nico High taking the Dorito 2 off the break, immediately shooting infield. Brussel back, gets shot, heads up on the loader. So one body advantage right now for AC Diesel. Nate Schrader repositions, and so does Goldman.
Goldman's going to hit the deck and crawl up. We've seen a lot of crawling on this snake side.
It means you have some.
It's like it's 1996 all over again.
Goldman right to the 50. I love it. Goes with the outside wrap. See if he gets his first engagement. Infamous is trying not to give him any targets.
Oh, Mouse, he's eating people up right now.
Yeah, he's already got one. On their side now. Oh, Mouse gets.
Did they just throw a penalty over there? No.
Mouse doing Mouse things right now here. 2-pack for Mouse. Out of that snake 1 position. He's going to get some help with Clint Johnson. Love this 1-2 combo with Clint Johnson and Mouse. Mouse is going to launch, try to get that 3-pack.
Minor penalty
on Mouse.
Yeah, it's not going to. I mean, they have 5 bodies alive, so 3 after that penalty. Mouse goes eyes to the sky in frustration with that penalty he just got, but he still just did an amazing job. I'll take that. He runs down and gets a 3-pack, draws a penalty, but it was just a minor. That would pull out 1 body. They still have 3 more bodies alive. It's not going to matter.
I was getting talking to by the refs.
It looks like from the hit that he got shot by his own guy. Like from the back of his leg, and he was going forward.
Yeah, definitely a fine line when it comes to that. As we move into point number 3 here, Edmonton Impact up 2-0 against SD Aftermath.
We'll see how Aftermath answers. Survivability has been a big problem for them, and this is a tough field to keep 5 bodies on alive for a long period of time. I mean, that's step 1 right now, or at least 4. Keep 4 bodies alive somehow. Oh, a little slip and fall for Morris. Might have collided with somebody or something happened. Now he's got to turn his gun on. Having a hard time getting his gun working. Not ideal here for Aftermath as they are down 2 points. A lot of time to work with, though. Still 11 minutes in regulation. And Impact already at the snake again. Impact has been relentless in the snake. It doesn't matter whether it's Zupa or Axel, whoever they're putting over on the snake side is getting it done.
Yeah, it's almost like you don't even have to win the snake battle. You just have to cancel the other team's battle.
You can't lose the snake battle.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, as long as you don't lose that battle, you're going to do well. Running ref. Coming in hot and fast, gets the penalty. Oh, it's a red one. That means 2 guys are taking the walk from Aftermath. That sucks. Axel gets 1.
It's going to be a penalty on...
Axel gets another one.
It's a gross major. He pulled 3.
Yep.
And now another minor, because Brandon Trujillo was shot in the loader.
Yep.
So they should be starting down 1.
Falling apart here, San Diego Aftermath. Need to keep their composure. That's one of those desperation penalties. Things aren't going well. You already have 2 losses. You're down a couple points. You're playing Impact. And somebody try to do too much.
And that's why when you're the better team, you apply the pressure, right? You apply as much pressure as you can, and you force that other team to make mistakes. Sometimes they don't make mistakes, but a lot of times they do. Yeah. And then your job is just that much easier.
Yeah, I mean, Impact's just putting them up against the cage right now. And
working those kidneys.
I mean...
Liver shot.
Yeah.
What do you think, Nick?
I think if you go back to we noticed that Axel was in the snake. Like, what's the one thing that stands out with Axel when you go out on the field?
Beanie?
Exactly. So, like, as I was walking in here, Alex Frazier interviewed me and said, hey, give me some words on Alex Goldman. And one of the things I ended it with is, like, if you're playing against Alex Goldman and you eliminate him, what do you hear most teams say?
Mouse is dead?
Mouse is dead. They call out the player because the player holds weight. If you're looking at what Axel's doing, what Zupa's doing, and Zupa's wearing a tan beanie, right? Those are the guys that make it very obvious that they're out there. They're not trying to blend in, and they're doing the same thing consistently. So, like, those are players that you key up on. Like, it's not man-to-man, it's two-man, like double man.
Always got two
like,
guns.
It's the same thing with, like, J-Rap. He's the purple people eater, right?
Yeah,
So he's got purple beanie on at all times.
Right,
So you
but,
know,
like,
it's, hey, we just shot J-Rap.
Exactly. But, like, the difference is that J-Rap's not running the snake on the break, and there are definitely positions you can take.
Yeah, but in the scrambles,
100%.
You know, you
100%.
hey, we just shot J-Rap, therefore now I don't have to worry about, like, it's when you shoot, same with Burtnikoff, right? Okay,
Exactly.
Burtnikoff's dead. I don't have to worry about that crazy play that guys like J-Rap and Burtnikoff can pull out. Yeah, can other guys do that? Sure. Do they do it as frequently as those two guys do? Absolutely not.
Right.
But I'm just co-signing what
No,
you're
no,
saying, Nick.
100%.
Absolutely. Know thy enemy, right?
Like,
Know
yeah,
thy
like
enemy.
looking out here now, right? It's just Goldman. He's got the beanie. He's going out. Like,
well, Nick, when the top teams play each other and they kill each other, it's not, hey, I shot the snake guy. It's I killed Ryan Greenspan, or I killed Mouse.
Absolutely. Brustleback asking for a check. He's clean. 5-on-5 breakout. Both teams taking a lot of ground over on that Dorito side.
Both teams taking that D3 on the D side. Both teams ran their shooting.
Less off the break shots are hitting this morning. I mean, we barely got started. We're only 2 sets in, but it's been a less lethal break than it was yesterday.
For sure. We had a lot of breakouts yesterday. They would drop 2 on the break. We're going to have a lot of breakouts that are 5-on-5 here this morning. Brustleback sneaking from that snake 1 to snake 2. Going nice and low to try to avoid that cross shot from the wing on the Dorito side or the Dorito side corner. He's looking inside now. Trying to develop some kills from the inside. Comes up over the top, puts some pressure on the back left. Goes back down. Impact looks like they're sitting back at this point, trying to just ride their lead out. Up by...
You mean Diesel?
Yeah, sorry. Diesel up by 3.
Dude.
You see J-Rab in the back center, right?
It's hard. No, you see him and you see Mouse and then just dark jerseys.
It'll only take me another 4 or 5 years to get this right.
I mean, well, we were calling it for 10 years before, so
J-Rab
I get
great
it.
move from back center into the spot can. Shout out to Steve Rabikoff if he's home watching. Knocking out some push-ups. Missed you, buddy. Hallberg laying down inside. Now, Hallberg's kind of playing like he's up by 3 points, right?
Who? Brustleback?
Brustleback, sorry. Brustleback.
Hallberg is on Diesel.
Yeah. He's got to have a little bit more offensive, right? Up by 3 points. Got to put a little more pressure from Infamous down the snake side.
Yeah, no, I agree. The issue is that, well, time is an issue, right? So it's 5 minutes left, down by 3. Points are running 2-ish minutes on average. So Infamous needs to start pushing the issue. Now, Infamous does already have 2 wins, so margin may be something they're thinking about. Okay, so we have to still play one more game today. In the brackets, X Factor, Infamous, Diesel, Legion, and Uprising.
I feel like these are kind of the 5 control positions, guys, where like teams are going to try to get to Sunday. Oh, Brustleback gets caught over the top.
See, like this is the crazy thing. Like
after they die.
Well, look at this though. Quinn Johnson does get eliminated as well, so 4-on-4. But like these moves that just happened should have happened sooner.
Right.
And Thomas coming, like the call should have been there's no one in the snake on Diesel. So Thomas is sitting in that Dorito. He's stacked with 3 bodies on his side. He should have been up the middle, and they should have baited someone to go.
Yeah, they're definitely playing a little less proactive.
Oh, Thomas gets taken out inside.
I don't
That's
know.
not. That's a bad elimination. And then now we see the press.
Now they're pressing. Now that they're down 2 bodies, right? Do that when you're 5-on-5.
Yeah, and recognize where the strong side is. And J-Rab is snuck into the snake. Here's the move on the inside. Nico Hyde going to get 1, stays alive, gets 2, trades out with Nate.
Nice move by Nico
That's a
Hyde.
great move by Nico. Nate Schrader, though, asking for it to stay in.
No,
no,
Nate's
he's
coming off as well, too.
Oh, now here's a minor penalty on Nate. Yeah, things you don't want to do.
No. Infamous last player, Joe Barrett getting eliminated there.
Barrett catching a couple extra bonus balls. That last one hit his neck pretty flush.
Next shots are the best.
They're not. Don't do that at home.
Infamous
Kids.
had a really good breakout there, right? They had the snake just played a little too tentative and then didn't go on to the attack until they had lost a couple bodies instead of trying to use the advantage of having 5-on-5 and being in the key position.
I think for me with that is I like everything Brustleback did. Aside from like I would turn around and be like, Barrett, get in here with me. They're not in the snake.
Yeah, Thomas fell out earlier, right? And
The read should be, hey, if we're not calling like danger, red alert, there could be a snake, then Thomas, who's essentially doing little to nothing in that Dorito, looking that way, again, you need to reposition to where you can shut that down. And so when that stuff does happen, you've got eyes on, and then if someone makes a move, you can get that elimination. Yeah. And it just happened too late. He filled out, not up.
Yeah, so, and also Infamous not conceding this point. So, with Infamous getting 2 wins yesterday, but they were pretty close. Didn't really blow anyone out, but were victorious nonetheless. So they don't want to squander that extra margin that they have by losing big to Diesel, having to play X Factor next, and X Factor went 1-1. Also, big shout out to the provider of the Golden Barrel, Carbon Paintball. They got a pretty awesome team program. You don't have to go head to toe. Most companies require you to wear all their stuff, and you kind of mix and match here with Carbon. Go to carbonpaintball.com. Constantly trying to innovate, come out with, with some new products. I mean, the creative team behind Carbon did work for a lot of the top companies throughout the years, and then decided to do their own thing. So it's a pretty interesting story over there.
It is. I choose die.
There you go. Yeah, you got to rep your boys, right?
Amen. But shout out to Carbon.
And yeah, there it is. Top Gun Award will be going to the best player for the best team. That is still wide open. One of our media guys, Dylan, was asking me, he's like, who do you think's in the running for the Golden Barrel? I was like, I have no idea. We have so much paintball to play.
Said best play. It's the best player, right?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, best player on the best team. You know, whoever wins. Yeah, you win the tournament. You get the Golden Barrel. Who stepped up? Who's that MVP? Who made the most impact?
On the Carbon/Die discussion, what prize is Die going to start giving up?
I don't know.
You want.
Can you broker that for
I can
us?
absolutely broker that. So Aftermath does start down a body because of that minor on Brandon at the end of their last point. All 4 bodies do make it out. They are in the snake with Zupa on impact in here as well. You can see these guys right next to each other.
And you called it. As soon as you see Zupa lining up this way, you know where he's going, what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
Aftermath drops their first body.
Yeah.
Good little gunfight here in the snake.
Grayson gets taken out, and I'm surprised. There's the move.
Yeah, Castro.
Nice job by Castro.
Running down
It is
Zupa.
a nice job, but not really, right? It's a 3-on-5. You can't really afford the trade there.
I mean,
did he know it was a 3-on-5? Probably not.
It's one of those things. Like, look, you know, you went in there with 4 guys. He's not going to know that he lost Gladstone on the other side of the field as Darula filters over into the snake to take up residence where Zupa was taken out from. So it's a 4-on-2. And again, Impact, they're just too smart to know, like, hey, we really don't need to do anything, and all Aftermath can do is go forward.
All they have to do is apply pressure, right, and force Aftermath
hold
to
the
make
pressure.
mistakes.
Yeah, hold the pressure.
They know exactly what the count is. It's 4-on-3, advantage for Impact.
A lot more time left in this one. Still 9:23 here left to go, and Impact in some really good hold positions. Zach Yakimek got the laydown wedge, Risa right behind him, or beside him, and then they got a body also right behind him.
Yeah, and this is where you see great discipline when you want to do a little case study. The guys on Impact, on that Dorito side, they recognize the pressure that Brandon from Aftermath is putting on there, and they designate people to take over those zones so they don't have to fight an unnecessary battle. And with the power of the 3 on the 1, they eventually just take him out. And so it's just 1 body left alive over here for Aftermath. I do like that he's going forward. I like that a lot.
Yeah, they lose. Aftermath does lose a body from that D side. Morris dives into the snake, and then here comes the push from Impact, moving up on that D side. Then Cornell's going to get past the 50. They're going to take out that snake as Morris trades with Darula, but the damage was done on the D side.
Yeah, they need to get Morris in there earlier. He was basic their offense. You know, yesterday when they were doing well, he would go into the 50, get a couple kills.
Yeah, Aftermath, you know, again, they just don't have like a full field press. They'll get guys in the snake that are doing a job, the D side will drop.
One guy here, one
snake side will drop, the D side will be trying to do something. Then the survivability in the backfield's been tough. So
I think that's it. They lose that first body, and that puts a pause on one side or the other. They've been pretty consistent over here on the snake side.
They're getting in there. They're definitely, there's a presence in the snake quite a bit for Aftermath, but I just feel like there's been very few points that we've been calling when we're watching Aftermath where somebody's not dying out of their spot.
Right.
In a bad situation, just a bad death.
So kind of like mirrored sets here, where Impact's walking away with it. The score will be 4-0 over Aftermath with 7:55 to go. And as we look at Infamous versus Diesel, less time to go in this matchup, but the score is 4-0 Diesel over Los Angeles Infamous.
Yeah, it's starting to be that a lot to none story on the scoreboard in both of these sets. We'll see if Infamous can and Aftermath can wake up here, try to put some points on the board, keep it closer. And again, Infamous just with their 2 wins yesterday, 2 closer wins, cannot throw any more points away, or their margin's going to be a little rough heading into play X Factor. So that game going down around noon here, Eastern time, and could have Sunday implications that the top 2 teams in that bracket always play each other last.
5 alive for Diesel. Oh, Nico High getting check in the D corner for Diesel.
His mirror does get shot. I like how he asks for a check, tucks it in, and then starts playing. Doesn't wait for the ref to do anything.
Clever, clever. 54 here again.
Yeah, 1 body advantage for AC Diesel, but Infamous with Brusselback, who's been consistently getting in the snake.
And you can tell by the posture of Diesel here, they're not looking to really put a lot of pressure at this point, right? Mouse is sitting there looking inside. Clint Johnson's watching over him. Chirab's watching over both of them.
And guys, look at this beautiful crossfield, tight spread for AC. Everyone's shooting their guns in their good spots. Yes, Brusselback is at a really good spot in the 50-yard line. They got 2 in the snake. Okay, but now what is Infamous going to do with it? They got 1 minute and 29 seconds here. It would be great for their margin right now. Again, having to play X Factor next to score this point, but they're going into 5 guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the beauty of it, though, and especially you've seen it a lot in this matchup, is like it's possible. You see these players make these good moves under this pressure, and that just shows you what you can do.
Yeah, Clint Johnson just took a bounce.
Did he really?
Yep. Uh-oh.
Russellback's trying it, but he's going to get run down by Mouse. No one protecting Russellback, and Mouse dodges the stream from the second player in the snake for Infamous, who just gunned up on that outside lane as Mouse cuts inside.
Now you got Clint Johnson and J-Rab repositioning to protect Mouse. Mouse gets a kill, goes forward. Clint Johnson and J-Rab both reposition so they can protect Mouse. Really good team play here from Diesel.
Yeah,
really showing that they understand how to play this field well.
Only 37 seconds left to go. Mouse is going to launch, try to take out Thomas. Thomas eats him up, though. So does open the door slightly, but it's just, they still have to deal with Johnson. There's still 4 bodies alive right now for Diesel, and they spread the field nicely. They moved out into D2 with Hyde. Good to see Nipa Hyde get some playing time in the starting 5.
Yeah, it looks like they're just
the clock, calling the time. And Diesel's not worried about their margin.
J-Rab looks at the clock, makes a move. I don't foresee anyone doing anything crazy here.
And that is going to do it. So complete shutout here. AC Diesel taking down Los Angeles Infamous. That sends Infamous record to 2-1 with their next match against X Factor. We're going to see X Factor play Uprising, as X Factor did drop a game to Diesel in overtime. X Factor took a pretty huge Mercy Rule win over Legion. So they're sitting on a pretty comfy +5, I believe. Let's see how they look against Uprising in this next set. Diesel looks pretty dialed, man. That was a relatively flawless game against a real tough opponent with the way Infamous played yesterday. Impact also running a racket against San Diego Aftermath, trying to go undefeated through 3. We will see New York Extreme play the Saints. New York Extreme, one of the favorites out here, man. They are definitely becoming a favorite.
5-on-5. Axel got in, makes it all the way to the snakes in the 50 already.
And we know what he's going to do when he gets in there, right? He illustrates it for us every point. He goes right to that 50 or right to your side of the snake and just executes people.
Yeah, Morris gets taken out. Yeah, it's just like you have to have man-to-man coverage on that and be responsible for him. And if you know that he's lined up on that outside and you don't see him walk off on the break, you need to put yourself in a position to take him out.
Or to at least be into a spot that you can constantly pressure him so that he can't do what he does, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one of those things where it just shows you that there's one player on any team gets into this position quickly. This has a complete game-changing.
100%. And he's got 3 guns on him, right? So now there's 3 guns on Axel. There's no pressure on the rest of the Impact guys.
Yeah, which just shows the discipline because they know the situation. And hey, unless Axel gets eliminated, they're already in a position to shut down any movement into the snake.
Yep.
With Matt Jackson, I believe, up behind him.
Yep, complete control by Fuzzy. Back center to the side.
Yeah, and they're just doing a masterful job of burning clock. Get Axel into a really good spot, burn clock. Yeah, has to come at you.
A lot of time in this game.
Yeah, still 6.5 left on the regulation time. Axel now past the 50, really trying to just stay alive, put pressure downfield.
Oh, he gets the kill. Axel gets that kill.
That's gonna
on snake side now for Aftermath.
Yeah, it's gonna allow him to loosen up a little bit here. Checks off inside and looks back towards. Trying to wrap around, maybe get a shot on that back center. Trying to shoot a bounce shot right now, and now he's gonna hit the deck, crawl up even further.
I love that. It'd be amazing if he could isolate 3 1-on-1 gunfights. There's another kill. Oh, he got caught.
He finally
we were
got
going to watch
caught.
5 1-on-1s there in a row.
Oh, man.
Hey, he did his job, though.
Oh, Axel looking good.
Yeah.
Hey, 3's enough,
He
right?
could, I mean,
3's enough.
He didn't know that guy had made it into D2, so he could have stayed alive. But that snapshot that Nick was laughing at was absolutely nasty. He just kind of threw the gun over and did not miss.
Shot, right? Panic shot.
Oh man, it's impressive.
4-on-1 here.
Ooh.
3-on-1.
Who was that?
Here.
Brandon just got a shot on. It's a 2-on-1.
2-on-1 here.
He's going forward. Is he going to get him?
Trujillo trying to run up, get a shot on Cornell, but Cornell going to trade out with him.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Brandon's a good player, man.
Brandon Trujillo?
Yeah. He's
former Team USA.
Team USA, BKI,
BKI
guy. Like, he's definitely
like a standout on the team.
Yeah, like he's young. You know, he's made some I'd say lackadaisical mistakes, but that just comes with experience and being thrown out there and into the flames. which they're doing.
What,
19?
19, 18, 19, yeah.
Yeah, like, that's a kid that, I mean, if Aftermath can hang on to him, but I'd expect for him to be
Sounds like we'll be hearing about him on an Ironman jersey here pretty quick.
I wanted to pick him up a couple years ago. He's like somewhat local. I think he's in LA area.
Did he come to one of the tryouts for you guys?
Yeah. He's
Did he just not play well in that tryout? I know there was a Lions Den of upcoming players trying to get on the Ironman in the offseason.
It's just, I don't know. I can't answer that one.
Politically speaking, you can't answer that? Or
No, it's just, well, look, like, you look at, how are you playing here and now, given all the setting and the environment and who you're with, versus how do I have to project I think you will perform in the future, and like how do I weigh out all those other things of, are you local, are you loyal, do you you know what I mean, those kind of off your field, everything.
What's your attitude
it's like? 3 L's,
yeah,
local, loyal.
Yeah, you know, like, I can judge you for your performance here and now, but it's like you take a test in school. Some people just aren't good in those tests, and like for some kids, younger players shine in those situations and make the most of it, and they have a good day. But it's almost like, you know, drafting somebody. Like, you don't know how they're going to perform.
Yeah.
Is it a bust or not?
It's a risk, right?
And
Taking a
so
risk.
when I go to weigh that out and look at everything that I've learned over the years and trying to pick up players, which is not my main responsibility, I see the more positive with the negative, and that's someone I would like to have hook, line, and sinkered.
Well, the road is long, Nick.
Yeah, I've heard you say that.
Yeah, players bounce around a lot, so
They do.
You may have some time to get them.
Should we start making our picks for this off season already?
Oh God!
If you're not working on them
how much
already,
time you
it's
got?
late.
Yeah, you got to plant that
As soon
seed
as
early.
you said his name, I texted Bo.
I know. I know.
I was like, Bo, I've never heard of this kid. Start talking to him.
So Impact 1 point away from a mercy rule victory here against San Diego Aftermath, who's just been kind of scratching their heads with the survivability.
And look at you got White Beanie Zupa, who should be your guy you focus on. He's the only guy over here. Brandon Cornell is going to make the same move. Yakimak gets taken out, Morris gets taken out, and 2 die.
Yeah, 3 and 4 advantage. Impact.
2 eliminations.
Zupa in the snake fit.
And there's no one looking this way, so it's over.
Yep.
Yeah, no one's putting any pressure on
It's over.
Zupa. And Zupa's
Gets
just going to run down and shoot
2,
everybody.
And he gets 3.
Beautiful little 3-pack to close here from Mike Zupa. Waves everyone off. Again, these top-level first attackers, if you don't put any pressure on them and they're not getting shot at, they're just going to run all the way down the field, shoot everyone in the back.
And you know what makes them top-level attackers is Zupa came out, heads up, saw the 2 bodies who are the only snake attackers on the field for Aftermath and recognized that and knew he had no one in front of him. And on a field like this, when you start in the start station and you just take a peek out to the other side, you see who's lined up against you, so you have a very good idea of the amount of bodies that you should expect on the breakout going to your side.
Well, that is going to do it here for this set. Congratulations to Impact completely dismantling San Diego Aftermath and AC Diesel with a shutout victory over LA Infamous.
I love it. Come up here. This is going to be a great set, man.
I thought it was. I thought it was going to be a good set, but it was 2 beatings. Coming up next, though, it's going to be X Factor taking on Uprising and New York Extreme taking on the Latin Saints. Nick Slobiak, Los Angeles Ironman, thank you so much. Tune in at 1:45 here Eastern Time as they will be playing the rookie pro team Notorious, who went 1-1 yesterday, took down the ML Kings. That should be a good battle also in the set with the Bears and Level. Coming up next, can't wait to see the fight going down here center court at the 2023 NXL Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall here on Go Sports. We'll be right back.
Bottles on, live field.
Hey, this is Walker with Carbon Paintball here to talk to you about our SC custom jerseys. To start your team's design, head over to crbnpaintball.com, fill in some team information, including what colors, what template you want to base your jersey off of, upload your main team logo and any sponsors, enter your name and your number, and we're going to kick you back a 3D image of your jersey. The custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com.
I think that this is going to be a layout that's going to benefit anybody that's naturally aggressive. To have that practice where we have aggressive teams meet us in the center, it's a bloodbath, and it's preparing us for the war that we're about to go into. And I know that they're being prepared for the war that they're about to go into, given that this is our first year in the